You're watching Capital One Bowl Mania.
We welcome you to the Pinstripe Bowl presented by Bad Boy Mowers. It's part of Capital One Bowl Mania. And we are live at the big ballpark in the South Bronx, Yankee Stadium, for the 12th annual Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. Syracuse 7-5 from the Atlantic Coast Conference, and the Golden Gophers of Minnesota trying to win for a nighttime as P.J. Fleck rows the boat. And Minnesota and Syracuse play for a sixth time and the first time in 9 years. Welcome to our coverage. Great to be with Roddy Jones, Wes Durham, Taylor Davis in just a moment. In some ways, the postseason is revealed in two different spectrums today with these two teams. Syracuse, one of the great starts of the season. They went 6-0. They were in the top 10 and only won one of their last 5 to finish with the 7 wins. They've had some opt-outs. They've had some guys hop in the portal. So that's where Dino Babers' deck is. Minnesota, meanwhile, P.J. Fleck won 4 of his last 5 to get him here to New York, including a road win at Wisconsin to close the regular season. Roddy, they feel like they want to finish strong in 22 to get to 23 and what the prospects are there. But there is no doubt he's got a football player you're going to see today here at Yankee Stadium.
He certainly does. He's got an All-American running back, one of the best backs in the country, and Mohamed Ibrahim, who has been absolutely fantastic over his career. The physicality and toughness that he runs with, you're going to see the speed and the burst. The contact balance, though, the little moves that he makes to break tackles are one of the most impressive things that I think he does. He has had an incredible career, and in an age of opt-outs, he is playing today, and he is on track to break quite a number of records.
Every once in a while, you run into a game where a guy might set 1 record, maybe 2 in a game. He's got a chance at 5 today, Roddy.
It's incredible. He's also got a shot to be the leading rusher in the entire country if he has a good day. It'll be an excellent display of not only what he can do, but what he's done throughout his career, and it'll be a great cap to the end of it.
Well, and here's the other part about that plays out for Minnesota today. It's on the offensive side of the ball. Tanner Morgan's had a fabulous career in Minneapolis for the Gophers. But Ethan Kaliakmanis is in a position today to take the reins of what this program is going forward.
And the mentorship between the two has been incredible. Tanner Morgan has been an invaluable resource for Ethan Kaliakmanis, who possesses all of the physical attributes that you want out of a quarterback. He can scramble with his feet. He's got an excellent arm. And in his last game, over 300 yards against Wisconsin.
All right, so that's the Gopher offensive side of the ball. Now for Syracuse, we told you about the landscape. Guys declaring for the draft, others into the portal. That leaves Garrett Schrader as the leadership, not only in the huddle, but maybe on the field here today as well.
He's going to have to do it all today. He's their leading rusher coming into this game with Sean Tucker out. He's going to have to do it with his feet. He's going to have to do it with his arm. And he is incredibly tough to tackle when he's in the pocket. Does a great job of extending plays.
So Sean Tucker, one of the nation's leading rushers, has declared for the draft. He is not suited up here today. So that leaves Garrett Schrader to lead the Orange. And Syracuse won the toss, but Minnesota is going to receive. So we get a look at Brady Denneberg to kick it away, and Quentin Redding is deep for the Gophers, and we are underway at Yankee Stadium. Redding will field it on a hop at the 7 and cuts the 15 to the 20, and that'll be about it. So there's where Minnesota and Kaliakmanis are going to get started. And let's go downstairs, and the third member of our team is Taylor Davis.
Well, guys, that Minnesota offensive line is going to be without their undisputed leader this season. All-American center John Michael Schmitz has decided not to play here today in the Pinstripe Bowl. He is declaring for the NFL draft and is ready to look ahead to that next chapter. But, guys, Coach Fleck said this is a guy who came back to make that unit his, and he did just that. Nathan Bowe will get the start at center today. It's the number 11 rushing offense, and they don't look to skip a beat.
So Minnesota offense 21, and Kaliakmanis in the gun. Will throw it on first down, and there's the big tight end, Roddy. Brevin Spain Ford, the 270-pound 6'7" tight end of the Gophers.
He's one of the best tight ends, not only in the Big Ten, but in the entire country. Had a great game the last time out against Wisconsin. Almost 100 yards in that one.
So Spanford the catch. Second down now. And 4 to go for the Gophers. Ibrahim, first carry of the ball game. And he'll be close to a first down at the 31. So it is the 5th career start of this redshirt freshman from Antioch, Illinois. And Roddy, his last start was maybe his most impressive.
It absolutely was, especially late in that game against Wisconsin. Had over 300 yards passing, as we mentioned. And you can just see him continuing to grow and develop and get more comfortable. Physically, it's there. He just needs the experience at this point. Be interesting to see how much they trust him after bowl practices.
Ibrahim to the far side. Oh, lowered the shoulder and will drive for the first down. Isaiah Johnson made the tackle and lost his hat all in one swing. But a strong run by Mohamed Ibrahim.
It's one of those tone setter runs early in the game, where as a running back, you see a guy, especially a defensive back, and you're like, all right, it's time to send a message. Mohamed Ibrahim, a physical runner. Isaiah Johnson was on the receiving end of that one.
Second down, 4 to go on the opening drive of the ball game here in the Pinstripe Bowl. Minnesota 6th in the Big Ten in total offense, and Ibrahim will pick up the first down to the 43. That's a run of about 6 and another go for first down.
And the disheartening thing for Syracuse on that one is Caleb Okechekwu, number 93, was in the backfield. Ibrahim makes a miss and then is able to pick up positive yardage. When you have a great running back, the thing he can do is make you right. Even when you're wrong, you miss a block, he makes the guy miss, gets positive yardage, and it makes the offensive line look a lot better.
Okechekwu, one of the better defensive line guys there for the Orange. Bryce Williams in motion. He shuffles to sidecar left for Caliac Manis. Here's a quick throw, and it's broken up by Marlowe Wax. The linebacker, and Roddy with Michael Jones not playing, Derek McDonald, Jahad Carter, Deuce Chestnut, Garrett Williams. That might be the leader of the Syracuse defense today in number 2, Wax.
He's had a great season and a great career so far at Syracuse, but he slides into the middle to replace Michael Jones, and they're looking for him to take that and be the next Michael Jones. That was a great play. He was all over that one. Probably had a chance to pick it.
Trey Potts has come in now for the 3rd down play. Or second, I should say. 2nd down and 10 it is for the Gophers. Williams in for a snap. Here's the toss, and Potts trying to slice to the right side and moves the stack to midfield. It's a run of 7 on 2nd down for Potts. Justin Barrett, who had a season-high 8 tackles at Boston College to close the regular season, makes the stop for the Orange.
One of the big things, one of the big differences in this game is the size of Minnesota's offensive line against that front 6 of Syracuse, 3-3-5 defense. So you're going to see linebackers up on the line of scrimmage, but this offensive line, 314, and even the defensive line of Syracuse doesn't have a guy over 270. So I expect this offensive line to just lean on them.
Minnesota hit 52% on 3rd down. It's a bad snap. Caliac Manis falls on it, but back at the 41.5-yard line. And there's Bo, the center, filling in for Schmitz.
As Taylor said, John Michael Schmitz, an All-American at center, potential first-round pick. Mel Kiper's number 1 center, not in. And Kayvon Darden in the middle. The nose tackle does a great job of getting off the football. Timed up that really well. You can see Schmitz there in the middle. Number 60. It's going to be a high NFL draft pick, but it cost him there.
So Syracuse will wait on the punt of Crawford. And it is a fair catch. And the play is made at the 24-yard line, and that's where the Orange will get started. And that brings Garrett Schrader to Yankee Stadium for the first time. The 6'4", 230-pound junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, transferred from Mississippi State. Roddy, in 11 games this season, it's been a better version of Garrett Schrader than we saw a year ago for Dino Bates.
It was a little banged up last year, but Jason Beck comes in and they stripped it down to the fundamentals. He's done an excellent job throwing the football this season.
Here is Schrader on 1st down. Gadsden, middle of the field at the 40, and a first down for the Orange. So right away, Schrader dials Aronde Gadsden II, who was 6th in the ACC in receiving yards, and that's his 55th catch of the year.
When this offense was at its best, the Syracuse offense, it was Schrader, Tucker, and Gadsden. And without Tucker today, who can fill that 3rd spot is a big question. But you're going to see a lot of Schrader and Gadsden.
So LaQuint Allen stays in the game. He's the freshman from over in Millville, New Jersey. Play fake by Schrader. Let's get it on the perimeter. Does the Orange this time, and that's Trevor Pena. Knocked out of bounds by Houghton, the safety, around the 45-yard line. And Roddy, is the best plan of attack today, given the way Minnesota plays defensively, for Syracuse to play on the flanks?
Yeah, you're going to see a difference of styles. Minnesota is going to be much more methodical and want to keep the ball in the box, use their size. Syracuse wants to use their speed, get the ball on the perimeter. Wisconsin had some success with that in the last game.
Here's a reverse. Pena trying to turn the corner, going to come all the way to the near side before he pushes it across midfield, and an Orange first down. Justin Wally was finally the guy that took him out of bounds for the Gophers, but it almost felt like that Pena was looking for a crease here.
And the guy leading him is Garrett Schrader, who's going to come into your screen. Number 6, throw a block, big man. Quarterback being physical down the field. Garrett Schrader, a guy who's played some receiver at Mississippi State, showing that physicality on the perimeter.
Here is LaQuint Allen's first carry of the ball game. Made a man miss in the backfield, and will gather and pick up 5 toward the 42. Terrell Smith, the 5th-year senior from outside of Atlanta, makes the stop for Minnesota.
They're really excited about the true freshman LaQuint Allen. Jason Beck told us that he's got incredible ball skills as well. You can see the length and size. And at 6 foot, he's a guy that over the course of his career is probably going to put on, 10, 15 more pounds, probably play around 210 when it's all said and done. But receiver skills with the football.
Schrader just dumps to Allen here, and he slips down. And it'll be a play to the 41-yard line. And now all of a sudden, the turf monster of this natural grass surface here at Yankee Stadium, Roddy, might have gotten LaQuint Allen.
Yeah, and they're approaching the part of the field where the infield normally is. These baseball fields don't typically hold up well under football conditions. Let's keep an eye on that over the course of the game.
I.e. San Diego last night.
Yeah, well.
And what are we going to get here? Procedure on Syracuse. Let's
False
welcome
number 57,
the Pac-12, Scott
offense.
Campbell.
5-yard penalty.
He's our referee today out of the Big 12 Conference.
The job for Minnesota on downs like this is find 19. Do not let Oronde Gadsden be the guy that converts. And then also, if Garrett Schrader is able to escape, Minnesota has not been great at sacking the quarterback this year. So if Garrett Schrader does get out of the pocket and escape, how can you play that second play? Can you plaster those receivers?
Gadsden, top of your screen. That's Cooper in motion, and they get it on the perimeter. That's Allen, and he is taken down. Minnesota played it well. Wally and Ja Joyner, you see the defensive end out in space to make the play. There's Joyner, terrific looking redshirt sophomore who had 4 quarterback hurries as a defensive end, which tied for the team lead through the course of the season. And so the Orange are stopped at the Minnesota 41.5-yard line. And Max von Marburg from Wagga Wagga in Australia, New South Wales, will try and hang it high toward Reading. And a fair catch is called for and made at the 14-yard line. So, underway at Yankee Stadium. No score. Each team's had it once at the Pinstripe Bowl.
The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl is brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers, proud partner of New York's bowl game. Mow with an attitude. And Capital One, what's in your wallet?
You know, after the Giants moved from old Yankee Stadium, Roddy, over into New Jersey, Yankee Stadium in football kind of lost its identity for a while. But if you go back in history, the 150-odd years of college football, there have been some major games played at all levels in the stadium, and still are a handful of great ball games that are played annually here at the big ballpark in the Bronx. Ibrahim gets the Gophers started off the 15 with a run of 10 and a first down to the 25.
Minnesota was in an unbalanced formation, ran right behind. See Nick Collerup coming across with a block, number 87. Ibrahim with a nice gain on first down.
So Mohamed Ibrahim, 4 carries, 26 yards. 10-yard run, and it's 1st and 10 out at the 25. And here is Ibrahim. He got 6, almost 7. He'll be a yard shy. Marlowe whacks the tackle on the Gopher star. Roddy, why do I think that Ibrahim is 40 years too late in football just the way he plays? I mean, 1982 to 94?
Yeah.
This guy would have been in his wheelhouse, wouldn't he?
Minnesota fans will tell you he's right on time
Yeah.
for what PJ Fleck needs.
That's why I said he's a football player.
He's a throwback. He
Oh.
absolutely is. You look at what he's done the last few games. 39 carries against Iowa a couple games ago.
Yep.
36 against Northwestern earlier this year.
And here's the carry, and no, not going to get it. Somebody doing the math for the Orange on what would be a record breaker. Ibrahim gives a couple back to the house on Jacquez's tackle.
And you can see what Nick Monroe, what the scouting report is. It's bodies around the line of scrimmage. It's movement. And you can see guys jumping all over the place. That was Caden Bailey, the freshman, number 46 there, gets in the backfield and makes a tackle. They're going to make Cadillac Manis beat him.
Yeah, with some of the defensive unit being depleted with transfers and declares, you're going to see guys like Bailey and Jacquez today for the Orange take more of a center stage, and here goes the blitzing Caden Bailey. Right on time is the freshman from Jefferson, Georgia, with a sack.
Caden Bailey right up the middle. They try and pass off the linebacker stunt, the cross dog, and they don't get it right. The running back and the center both go the same side. Again, Nathan Bowe in the middle there at center. One of those two guys was wrong, and it's Caden Bailey who gets the sack.
Pena averages 8.2 yards a return this year for the Orange. Crawford, end over end, slowly drifting to the 34, and a terrific play, Wally. On special teams, the sophomore Justin Wally
Timeout on the field.
takes the Orange down in their tracks. No score in the Bronx. Well, we told you it'd kind of been a tale of 2 seasons in one for the Orange. They started off 6-0, best start since 1987, including a win over NC State at the JMA Wireless Dome, and then Roddy, the backside of the schedule, which we all knew was coming, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you had a stretch of Clemson, Notre Dame, Pitt, Florida State, and Wake Forest. That was tough, but they win. They beat Boston College at the end of the year to get to 7 wins, which is Dino's best since winning 10 games in 2018.
Yep, with Eric Dungy and that crowd in the Camping World game down in Orlando, and you see they're looking for their 5th consecutive bowl win. And Dino Babers now in his 7th year at Syracuse. Native of San Diego, went to school at Hawaii, and has got the Orange here playing in New York. Schrader on first down and threw it low for Damian Alford. Wally in coverage for the Gophers.
The ball may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage. The way it kind of fluttered out there, it looked like it was contacted by something as it got out towards Alford.
First incompletion of the day for Schrader, who hit his first 4.
There's a look at it. Oh, I don't know. I take that back.
Jalen Logan Redding was the guy that had a paw in the air. Now Schrader's in trouble. Trying to manipulate, slips down in what would be center field back at the 25.
Again, the footing comes into play. You're going to have to get used to the slick turf. But it's the pressure by Jalen Logan Redding that sort of makes him uncomfortable. Thomas Rush from the other side. And then Trill Carter, the big man, comes around, and Eric Schrader had nowhere to go. It's a great job of that defensive line keeping integrity in their pass rush.
So now 3rd and long, 17 for the Orange. Schrader from the pocket trying to hold still, now has to evacuate on there and cannot break free. Knocked out of bounds by Lindenberg, the linebacker, right at the 30-yard line. So it'll be 4th and a dozen, and the Orange are going to punt. So the Gopher defense a little bit better possession defensively than what we saw their first time out.
This is one of the best defenses in the country. 5th in terms of total yards given up per
46
game.
for 97 on Syracuse.
4th in terms of scoring.
97.
They have been fantastic this season. And 3rd downs, I mean, they have been incredible. Syracuse has struggled here as late of as of late on third down.
Here's the punt toward Redding, and a fair catch will be made at the 38. Well, just ahead of 3 minutes to go, still opening quarter of play. Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium. And it'll be felt here in New York for sure, because when soccer was born in modern America, Roddy, Pele played for the Cosmos.
Yeah.
And of course, then Giorgio Chinaglia and the early iteration of professional soccer in the United States was geared with Pele's arrival to play for the Cosmos in New York.
It's truly sad news that, as Casey said, will reverberate around the globe. One of the most recognizable figures in all of sports that we've ever seen in the entire world.
Minnesota, best start of the 3 possessions from its 38. Play fake. Kaliak-Manis downfield, right the grab. First down to the Syracuse 41 for Dalen Wright, who had a strong finish to the regular season. I beg your pardon, it's Jackson 9, not Wright 8. Daniel Jackson, who had 15 catches in his last 4 games.
And it's a really nice route. Couple of stems, one to the post, and then comes across on the dig. Good timing by Kaliak-Manis, hitting him right out of the break as well.
So Jackson, who finished the regular season with 33 catches and 3 scores, gives the Gophers plus field territory at the 41. Ibrahim sneaking through, and there's the record, as he squeezes off 8 yards to the 33, tackled by Justin Barron. And Mohamed Ibrahim, along the way, has set a single-season rushing record at the University of Minnesota.
Congratulations to him. That offensive line in front of him has been tremendous all season. And I think that run was a perfect illustration of what makes him special. The pace, the patience, the burst, all of it was there.
Here's Kaliak-Manis on a play fake, and then he got stopped. Justin Barron coming down from safety to make the play.
You know, when Minnesota does stuff like this, it actually plays in to the hands of Syracuse. Syracuse doesn't want Minnesota going downhill, but if they can get Minnesota going laterally, that's where the speed of the Orange can really be on display.
So Bryce Williams checks in on third down. 3rd and 4 for the Gophers.
Span forward is 3rd from the bottom, number 88, the big tight end.
Yep. Out of the backfield, and the catch is made by Williams. It is a catch. It'll be a first down for Minnesota at the 27-yard line. Roddy, he looked like he pulled it off his shoe tops.
He did. It was a great grab by Williams, but Syracuse just completely loses track of the running back. Marlo Wax likely needed to get out there, and yep, picks it up, or grabs it before it hits the turf.
Quan Peterson starting in the Orange secondary today.
Said running backs can't catch.
Makes the play, as spoken by one.
Yeah.
1st and 10 at the 27 of the Orange for the Gophers. Potts now has spelled Williams in the backfield. And it will be a play fake. Kaliak-Manis throws a dart, and that is Dalen Wright making the grab, going out of bounds near another first down at the 17.
Watch how Wright breaks down at the top of this route, though, because of the footing. Very careful coming out of the break. It's a nice job of making sure you can get in and out of your breaks. These receivers are going to have to be really conscious of every step they take as they come in and out of these breaks with the slick turf today.
Dalen Wright working against the Dartmouth transfer Isaiah Johnson in the Orange secondary. This could be the final play of the first period. And they're going to snap it. And here's Potts trying to get to the wide side. He will break the 15, wax the tackle along with Barron. And that's the final play
first quarter
of period number 1.
Timeout on the field.
No score at the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. We'll continue from the South Bronx on a beautiful Thursday afternoon next. Got another full day of the Capital One Bowl Mania for you. Coming up next, off to Orlando. Cheez-It Bowl with Oklahoma, Florida State. Bob Wischusen, Dan Orlovsky, Chris Button standing by. And then the nightcap from San Antone, the Valero Alamo Bowl with Texas and Washington. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, and Cole Kublik have the coverage from the Alamo Dome. Always available on the ESPN app, too. You can take it with you, as they say. Start of the second period of play. Minnesota, 2nd down and 7 at the Syracuse 14. And Potts, the running back in the game. Kaliak-Manis, a strike inside the 10. And turn back there, I believe, is that Jackson? It is. Daniel Jackson, the junior from Kansas City, Kansas, with the catch in traffic.
It's a good read and good delivery by Kaliak-Manis. Puts it right at the top of the 9. He's been getting the ball out on time during this game. It seems like he's been able to decipher what Syracuse is throwing out. This 3-3-5 that they run, be very multiple. It can throw a lot of different coverage. Kaliak-Manis has been able to do a nice job picking it apart.
Ibrahim lowers the shoulder, plunges inside the 5 on the 3rd down play. And that will make it 1st and goal. Fuentes Cundiff, the tackle for the Orange, a redshirt freshman who played at Cardinal Hayes here in the Bronx. There he is, Elijah. Got to be a nice treat for him to come home for a bowl game.
Can you ever imagine playing
a
game in his own backyard? And
how about in this place?
Stadium,
yeah.
Exactly.
1st and goal.
A lot of beef on the left side of that Minnesota line.
Ibrahim the carry, lunges, and touchdown is the call. The 20th
Rolling
of
on the
year.
field, touchdown.
Elijah Clark held on. Mohamed Ibrahim would not be denied.
Congratulations again. When we detailed it at the top, he's got an opportunity to set a number of records, 2 already down, and ran right behind that offensive line, bringing an extra tackle. Martez Lewis came in the game, number 71. They've got 2 tackles on the left side, tight end. They just cave it down. They give Ibrahim a little bit of a crease, and he gets it in the end zone.
4-yard run, and the point after is good. Trickett knocks it through. Mohamed Ibrahim from Baltimore, Maryland, continues to set records for the Golden Gophers. Meanwhile, he gives them a 7-0 lead at the Pinstripe Bowl.
The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl is brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers, proud partner of New York's bowl game. Mow with an attitude.
Well, the Gophers in orange yesterday made it to the floor of the New York Stock Exchange to ring the bell for the day's activities. Dino Babers and PJ Fleck at the wheel. That's the row your boat of financial world, I guess, right?
Something like that.
So there you go.
Hey, what, Mariano Sori-Martin there, who was on the right side of the stage there.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody happier to be someplace. He was fired up.
Yeah. Part of the activities for the schools and universities representing the ACC and the Big Ten here at the Pinstripe Bowl, presented by Bad Boy Mowers. There'll be no return by Pena, so the orange will start from its 25. And Minnesota leading 7-0. Don't forget, 2 more Capital One Bowl Mania events for your Friday. Former ACC rivals. Now, Maryland and NC State have done some things in football in the past. They'll meet tomorrow in one of the great football extravaganzas, ladies and gentlemen. The Duke's Mayo Bowl in uptown Charlotte starts your day at high noon. And then off to the First Coast, the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. Number 21 Notre Dame and number 19 South Carolina, Roddy. And what a finish to the regular season for Shane Beamer and the Gamecocks. Wins over Tennessee and Clemson get them into the postseason. Schrader misfires to Gadsden on 1st down, so 2nd and 10 coming up.
It's a couple of times now on 1st down where Syracuse has tried to throw the ball, and Garrett Schrader's been off with the delivery, and it really puts him in a tough spot. When they've had success, they've been able to get those positive yards on 1st down.
Garrett Schrader finished 2nd in the ACC in completion percentage. Here's LaQuint Allen, and he's got the 1st down and a ton more. In fact, he got almost 20 to the 45. And another orange 1st down here in this opening half. Houghton makes the tackle for the Gophers.
And it's a really nice block out there on the perimeter by Damian Alford, who clears it out. Nice play call. Explosive run for Syracuse.
Jason Beck trying to get this offense going. Longest play of the day for the Orange. Here's a throw into the near side. Devon Cooper, tackled by Thomas Rush. Now, when you see Cooper, number 7, think about this. He had 11 receptions in the last 4 games. He's considered a mega senior because he's caught a pass in a college football game in 7 consecutive years. There are only about a half dozen guys, Roddy, that have found a way to get 7 years of college football.
His first season was at Arizona in 2016.
Flea flicker for Schrader. Here's the pass rush. He's going to throw it away. And it looked like Lindenberg, the linebacker,
Quarterback was out of the pocket, and the ball
busted the play up here, Roddy.
And Justin Wally on the back end, number 5, does an excellent job of sniffing this out. He's to the top of the screen, and that's where I think Schrader's trying to go. Sort of the double move. Wally has it covered on the other side. Damian Alford's trying to find some space. He's triple covered. Sets up a 3rd and short.
Yeah, the math game hurt the Orange there. Here's Schrader trying to pick up the first down on the keeper, and does, to the 43 of Minnesota. Ellis, the guy who paved the way for Garrett Schrader. I said he was 2nd in completion percentage, Roddy, at 65% in the ACC. He was 4th in efficiency, and yet his run numbers were as good as they are. But those injuries and, you know, that kind of thing kind of derailed him a little bit at times.
He got banged up, and it obviously is a quarterback, especially one as physical as him, it hinders your play.
Here's a reverse. Pena trying to get to the backside. Schrader tried to help with a block. Boy, but Minnesota's John Joyner stayed home, made a heck of a play. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd to full 10. Second time we've seen Joyner do this.
Yeah, we have. He's the defensive end in the middle of the screen. Really sniffs it out. And you see the athleticism. Garrett Schrader wisely doesn't throw a big block. Would have been an illegal blindside. Could have gotten in the way a little bit more, but either way, Minnesota was rallying to the football.
Schrader will fake the toss, keep it here on 2nd to full 10, pick up almost 6, maybe a little more, as they unstack around the 37-yard line. Strigo, the stop for the Gophers.
Talked about Jason Beck taking over for Robert Anae. He's going to have to be creative in the way that he uses his weapons, particularly Gadsden and Garrett Schrader.
3rd down, 3 to go. Schrader looping downfield and trying to come back and make the play was Gadsden against Houghton. So now 4th down, and some of the Orange in the left field seats here at Yankee Stadium didn't like the no call against Houghton here, Roddy.
I mean, he does get his head around to try and play the football. It's early in the game. Syracuse going for it. They went for it the fewest times on 4th down in the ACC, so this very different from what they've done over the year.
Only 4th down, and that's not going to make it. Darius Green played it like it heard it called to Hubbard.
Timeout on the field.
Trevor Pena, the intended receiver, Roddy. And Green makes a heck of a stop.
It's just being in your playbook. He sees it right away, explodes into the backfield. Great form tackling. Minnesota's got the football back.
Delivery brought to you by Chipotle, Roddy, and it's Mohamed Ibrahim.
Who else was it going to be? This one sets the record for season yards in a season rushing Minnesota history. That one gets him the touchdown and points record for a season in Minnesota history. Just look at that career that he's had, the 200+ yard rush games. I mean, he has just been an absolute workhorse over the course of his entire career.
Yep. Fun to watch. He's in the Minnesota bench for 1st down. Potts on the play fake from Kaliakmanis, who zips it middle of the field. Lemeki Brockington, the hero of Madison, crosses midfield on his first catch before Jason Simmons makes the stop after a 15-yard throw.
Well, Brockington just sits in the middle of the field in a little soft spot in the zone, and Kaliak Manis with the accurate delivery away from Marlowe Wax. Big chunk play, and Minnesota's done a nice job of sprinkling these throws in, and Kaliak Manis has been incredibly accurate with his delivery, incredibly decisive with where he's going with the football.
So Brockington the grab, Ibrahim back in the ball game. And here is Muhammad on the carry. And he'll get a couple of yards. 2nd down and 8 to go. Chabady to the tackle. Let's check in with Taylor.
Well, guys, no surprise down here on the Syracuse sideline. The defense openly talking about how to stop this rushing attack. In 4 of their 5 losses this season, they allowed for over 200 yards on the ground. And like the coaches said, Ibrahim is one of the best they have faced. Open dialogue down here, trying to find an answer.
Yeah. And by the way, I think Fleck and his staff are doing a really good job mixing in the backs to go with him. There's a throw beyond the reach of Brockington. Coverage by Jeremiah Wilson, freshman from Kissimmee, Florida. Again, with Garrett Williams' injury and ultimate post-football status up in the air. Another guy that's being asked to play a lot of snaps today.
Wilson was all over this, and just to go back to what Taylor said about the run game, I mean, you saw the Syracuse defense against teams like Notre Dame and Clemson, big physical offensive lines, Florida State, give up those 200-yard rushing performances, and this Minnesota offensive line is as good as they've faced this year. Notre Dame is probably the best, but this one's close.
Bryce Williams in the backfield. Kaliak Manis hit as he throws, and another terrific grab by Brockington. A 1st down to the 33. Kayvon Darton was the guy that hit Ethan Kaliak Manis, and he is down.
It's a great delivery by Kaliak Manis. Gets hit kind of low by Darton. Gets the ball away right before he gets hit. Saw that right leg kind of caught up underneath him. It may be, and we see Tanner Morgan a little sooner than we expected.
Yeah. How about this scenario playing out for Minnesota? Ethan Kaliak Manis, and now we may get to see the 6th-year senior from Union, Kentucky. They check on Kaliak Manis. We step aside from the Bronx. Come to the sideline, and Roddy, unfortunately, it does not look good. He can put no weight on his right leg after the hit by Kayvon Darton a moment ago on the completion to Levanky Brockington. But the new generation gives way to the old generation, so to speak. And here's the 6th-year senior, Union, Kentucky, who's not played since early November at Nebraska. 51st career game for Tanner Morgan, who started 47 times for the Gophers. And he's getting 1st and 10 in plus territory. Orange 33. And you ride Ibrahim here. And the orange pursuit is excellent. And Caden Bailey makes another stop behind the line.
Again, I feel like the East-West run game plays into the hands of Syracuse because they have great length and athleticism. Justin Barron around. Obviously, you saw Caden Bailey, who has been all over the place in this game. But as the game turns over to Tanner Morgan, the only thing that really you remove from the playbook is the running of the quarterback. Not quite the runner that Kaliak Manis is, but when you look at the career that he's built, if you want a guy to come in and win a game for you, he's the guy.
Little spin, pirouette, span forward, another catch. 2nd grab of the ball game for Brevett, span forward. And he's out of bounds under the Isaiah Johnson coverage and a 1st down.
Just look at the career that Tanner Morgan has put together. #1 in program history in win percentage, 47 starts, and lost the job due to no fault of his own. Had injuries over the course of the season where he had to miss the Penn State game, then gets re-injured in that game against Nebraska, and Kaliak Manis through his play, and also because they didn't feel comfortable putting Tanner Morgan back until he was fully healthy from that 2nd head injury. lost the job because of that.
Ibrahim straight ahead. 3, maybe 4 on first down. And Minnesota now with 7.5 to go in the moving clock here in quarter number 2. Dart, another tackle for the Orange. And Ibrahim looking at maybe owning another mark here in this first half of play, bearing down on career yardage. Second down. Morgan on play fake. Going to throw, and Wright was the intended receiver, but Dalen never looked back for the football, I don't think.
Just not on the same page with the quarterback. Wright read it as a route that he was going to take vertical and maybe expect a back shoulder, but it looked like Morgan expected him to break it off. That's well behind the receiver. And now it sets up a 3rd and long. Syracuse has had some success creating pressure. Remember earlier up the middle, sent a couple of linebackers in both of the A gaps to try and challenge Nathan Bowe, the backup center.
Minnesota 3 of 5 on 3rd down here in the opening half. Morgan from the pocket, launching for the end zone, and it is caught. Holy smokes, what a grab! Daniel Jackson.
Is a touchdown.
Oh! Lost his helmet, hit the ground, and held on all in one swing.
What an incredible throw by Tanner Morgan. A little bit of a miscommunication on the first one. This is absolutely perfect. You can't defend that any better by Jason Simmons, but a great catch by Daniel Jackson. The ability to hold on. I mean, what a play by both of those young men.
Tanner Morgan off
Rolling
the
on the
bench.
field is a touchdown. The previous play was under further
His
review.
second throw was 3rd throw. He hit one to span forward, and now his 3rd throw. I know you like to call some of these dimes. This is a pretty good throw, Roddy.
Yeah, that was absolutely a dime. They're going to review it to make sure that completed the act of the catch. Get 2 feet, yet clearly 2 feet in bounds.
Well, Simmons does a good job covering
Simmons
it.
does a great job. I mean, you can't defend this any better. Controlled, 2 feet in bounds. The ball does come out at the end. But by that time, I mean, the play's over.
Yeah.
The catch has been completed. He survived the ground.
The
2
helmet's
feet in
being
bounds.
taken off.
Yeah. I think this is going to be confirmed.
Syracuse is going to see Minnesota go 62 yards in 9 plays twice in their last 2 possessions to take a 14-0 lead if this stands, which I think it should.
I mean, the ball doesn't move at all. I think this would absolutely stand. It should be confirmed as a touchdown.
Right.
What a great throw by Tanner Morgan, though.
Yep. So you see referee Scott Campbell of the Big 12 in the review process at Yankee Stadium. Boy, Jackson had 21 catches in his last 5 games. He had 4 games with 5 or more catches during the season.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
And Daniel Jackson from Kansas City, Kansas, makes a heck of a grab to make it 13-0.
Talk to the coaches for Minnesota. Big thing was playmaking on the perimeter. Haven't gotten a lot out of those receivers, but they got it there.
And we got some early movement, and it might have been Martez Lewis involved in the kick unit here for the Gophers.
Offside. Defense in the neutral zone, causing a reaction by the offense.
Okay.
Half the distance to the goal. Retry.
My apologies to Mr. Lewis.
A lot of finger pointing going on there.
Yeah. Well, you've been down there. Some litigation goes on.
You have to.
54 was in the neutral
It
zone.
wasn't me, it was him.
Causing a reaction.
It's never me. Like, you never have a guy jump offside. That's on me.
Gear, the redshirt freshman from Anderson, South Carolina. know Babers fired up. Matthew Trickett for the point. And the kick is good. Well, Minnesota has added 14 points here in the second period. They've now outscored their opponents, Roddy, 120-29 this season in the second quarter.
An incredible throw and catch for this one. Daniel Jackson going up through contact, making a big time play.
Let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go ball.
We welcome you back to the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl with Roddy Jones, Taylor Davis, Wes Durham, part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Minnesota's layered up on a couple of touchdown drives, covering 62 yards to take a 14-0 lead on Syracuse. And Tanner Morgan comes in, throws his first touchdown pass since late October.
Late September.
Or late September, rather, yeah.
State. It was a really nice throw in the corner on the slot fade. And look, Tanner Morgan has done so much over the course of his career for this Minnesota team. I think the confidence in him is certainly sky high, and throws like that and the experience that he has, despite not playing a lot down the stretch, is exactly why.
23-year-old from Union, Kentucky. And here's the kick, and Pena fields it a yard deep, trying to find a seam, crosses the 15, and then hits a wall shy of the 20-yard line. And it looked like Aiden Galsby might have made the play in coverage. So with that, the Orange takes to the field. Taylor's got an update.
Well, guys, Ethan Kaliakmanis spent some time in the medical tent. He left, and the trainers asked him if he could walk to the locker room by himself. Unfortunately, he said no. So 2 teammates assisted him. He is now in the locker room, barely putting any weight on that right leg. Now, he started the last 3 games, really found some rhythm in that comeback game against Wisconsin. So very disappointing for the guy that they really feel could be the future.
Yeah, that's his brother Dino, who's a wide receiver that was helping Ethan to the clubhouse here in the Bronx. LaQuint Allen on first down got a step to the 20. So 2nd and 9 coming up.
Syracuse got Rondé Gadsden involved early. A little bit more man-to-man coverage from Minnesota since then, and it's taken 19 out of the game a little bit.
Here's Schrader trying to get it to Pena. Does. He spins out and is going to be close to the first down. Boy, Jordan Howden, Roddy, 23 in the maroon, has had a heck of a first half for the Gophers.
It's been all over the place. He's done an excellent job for them really all season. One-on-one with Pena in the open field. Able to get those cleats out of the ground, rally, and make the tackle.
49th start of Howden's career. 5th-year senior from San Diego. There's another quick throw, this one on the perimeter. And the Orange get it to Damian Alford. Or no, that's Adams, I beg your pardon. DeMarcus Adams, 85. Started originally in Florida State, then went to FAU. Had a touchdown catch against Notre Dame earlier this year for the Orange. 2nd and a couple for Syracuse. That's Gadsden in motion. Schrader going to try and keep. And he's going to end up in the arms of Trill Carter. And those are some big arms.
Yeah, they are.
From Leesburg, Georgia. Look at Trill. That number 1 looks like an island on that jersey.
I love it. We need more of that in college football. He's able to take on the block, absolutely blows up Kalen Ellis, who's pulling to block him.
Look at Trill.
Low man wins, especially when that low man is bringing 3 hundo behind him.
Yep. Out of Crisp County High School. And here is Schrader keeping again, and that time Jalen Logan Redding rallies to the ball, but Schrader got enough of it for the first, I believe, on 3rd and 1. Minnesota seems to have the QB keep ironed out, Roddy.
Yeah, they've done a nice job. They've been physical at the point of attack. Watch Darius Green right at the point of attack, kind of blow this thing up. Safety coming down into the box. Being physical allows everybody to rally, but it starts at those blocks. You've seen it on back-to-back plays.
Here's Schrader again, stepping up, trying to loop it for Allen, and he just missed it. They had turned the linebacker, noted savant Mariano Sori-Marin, around. And they almost got LaQuinn Allen.
He had 20 coming out of the backfield, just slips right by the linebacker and can't quite get there. It hits his head on the goalpost, hits his head on Monument Park out here in Yankee Stadium if he's able to catch that. Just a little bit off, and Syracuse is gonna have to have some of those over the course of this game. Second in the full 10, Schrader winds up, Gadsden another catch. That'll be 8 to the 48, third and short after the Lindenberg tackle. You just feel like these receivers are almost, they're treading so carefully at the top of breaks that it's not slow motion because the DBs are having to do the same thing, but at the top of breaks, everything kind of comes to a halt. And Gadsden almost didn't get turned around for that one. Yep. Pistol set here for the Orange. Third and short, and Allen not going to get there. Lindenberg fired down from the linebacking spot to create fourth down. And we talked about Dino Babers and his fourth down decisions earlier in the game. Only 8 all year. I think in these situations, you got to start to go for it some. It's a low possession game. Minnesota's been running the football consistently. He's going to send on the punt unit, and in an era where we're considering analytics a lot more, our analytics would say 4th and 1 basically everywhere is a go, especially when you're right around
46 is where 97.
But low possession game where Minnesota is going to try and bleed the clock. I think you're going to have to start to be aggressive so that you can keep your defense on the sideline.
So here is the punt by Markenberg, and Redding will make a fair catch of it at the 18. So 8 plays and a punt for Syracuse, and some of the Orange faithful not happy. 2:40 to go, 14-0. The score, let's go to Kevin Connors.
And Wes, coming up on the TikTok halftime report, Sam Acho and Trevor Maddich are going to join me. They'll have more on who the best skill players are in a talent-rich Peach Bowl, plus how TCU is approaching the Fiesta Bowl and the tall challenge of knocking off Michigan, and more on the passing of a global icon, the great Pelé. That's coming up, Wes, at the half.
All right, Kevin, thank you. 2:40 to go, first half at the Bronx. Tanner Morgan on in relief of the injured Kaliak Manis. He's going to load and throw deep, and that is right. He cannot come back and make a play on it. Incomplete. Isaiah Johnson was in coverage. Minnesota went fishing for the home run ball.
It was almost like Johnson didn't expect him to keep going. I mean, he comes out of his break and sort of trots for a little bit down the field. Ball's underthrown. Wright loses his footing. I think if he, in better field conditions, he's able to probably come back and make a play. It's a good no call down the field, too.
Yeah, Dalen Wright incomplete on the long throw from Morgan. Ibrahim, the running back for the Gophers here on 2nd and 10. And Muhammad weaves through traffic. He'll pick up 2 on the play to the 19. Roddy, the baseball surface, it's much discussed. Here's a Dino Babers timeout.
First the half.
Saw both schools really kind of come out and go through the shoot game here today. Longer spikes, shorter spikes. Talking to one of the Minnesota assistants about it's a leverage thing off the ball of the foot, not the heel. Does it differ from positions? If you're a lineman as opposed to a skill guy on the edge?
Yeah, I mean, those linemen are typically shorter, choppier steps. Your feet are under you a lot more. Skill positions, I mean, you're trying to make these cuts where your feet can get outside of the frame of your body, and that's when you really need those cleats to dig in. And it's a low surface. I mean, the grass is pretty low here. The ground obviously been hard being up north. That's why you've seen a lot of these northern schools go to turf. Yeah, it's just easier to manage. And then it's designed for baseball, obviously. So it's going to be tough, but it's tough for everybody.
3rd down and 8 now. Minnesota's hit 4 in a row on 3rd down. Morgan, Ibrahim, Muhammad will keep his feet and get another 3rd down conversion. To the 29 goes this hard-charging senior from Baltimore. And another record for Muhammad Ibrahim. This is career rushing yards, Rod.
And the Dino Babers timeout gives Minnesota plenty of time. 3 timeouts. Going to be under 2 minutes by the time this ball is down.
Morgan on a straight drop, now flushed up in the pocket, and he'll be taken down. And that looks to be Jabari, 94, involved on the tackle.
This young front for Syracuse has done a nice job of getting to the quarterback today. Good coverage on the back end, forces Tanner Morgan to hold on to the football.
Leon Lowry also involved on the stop.
It's a timeout by Syracuse. Dino Babers trying to save some time on the back end.
14-0 Minnesota, back in 10 seconds after a message from Ally.
How you cheer on your team is the way Ally can help you feel about your savings. Because we're all better off with an Ally. Back to you.
Here at the Pinstripe Bowl, 2nd down and 15 for Tanner Morgan. Great to be with Roddy Jones, Taylor Davis, West Durham at Yankee Stadium. And a 14-0 Minnesota lead. The Gophers building 2 touchdown drives here in the 2nd period. Here's Morgan with Ibrahim again. A collision at the 26, and he'll fall forward for another one. And the Orange have burned
Syracuse.
their last timeout on the Elijah Clark tackle. There you see the roster of Capital One Bowl Mania. Orlando to follow us, San Antonio tonight, Texas and Washington, Roddy. That's got a little juice to it, doesn't it?
Michael Penix has had an excellent season for Washington. The Pac-12, number of transfer quarterbacks coming in and having great years. Saw Bo Nix last night. You get Michael Penix today. Caleb Williams a little bit later on.
Purple Dogs of the Northwest trying to win 11 for just the 5th time in history.
And that what Kalen DeBoer has done there has been incredible this season. Turning that thing around quickly. It was a roster that was incredibly talented, but finding the quarterback in the system and then take off to a new level.
3rd down and a dozen for Morgan and the Gophers. 5 straight 3rd down conversions. They put it in the hands of 2-4 again, and he will not get this one. But he does chew up some clock along the way. Syracuse is out of timeouts. Marlowe Wax looped around to get Ibrahim to the ground. And now,
I'd imagine PJ Fleck's going to bleed this down as far as he can.
punch a timeout.
Call a timeout, yeah, and then go ahead and punt the ball away.
Boy, did we enjoy our visit with PJ Fleck this week, huh?
It was great.
6th year at Minnesota. Just got a 7-year extension through 2029 from Athletic Director Mark Coyle. By the way, Mark Coyle has a unique distinction here today. The Athletics Director at Minnesota. He hired each of these coaches at their respective schools. He was the Athletics Director at Syracuse, hired Dino Babers to replace Scott Schaefer, and then took the Minnesota job, and then hired PJ Fleck a couple years later. Both Fleck and Babers played one another twice as members of the MAC. Dino was at Bowling Green, rather, and of course PJ was at Western Michigan. And there's the connections to Dino Babers. Brian Callahan, Dino told us that's an outstanding offensive line coach. He's not surprised Minnesota's really good. Also Mark Lynch, who's on Fleck's staff, and of course Mark Coyle, who for a couple of years was athletic director in Central New York. And the funny part is they've only played 6 times, and this is the first since the Texas Bowl in 2013. Pena to wait on the punt of Crawford. Far sideline, and it's going to bounce around and bounce out of bounds around the 13-yard line with 55 seconds left to go. Don't forget the college football playoff semifinals are Saturday, and the MegaCast is back, Roddy. Several alternative broadcasts. Field Pass with the Pat McAfee Show presented by Mercedes-Benz on ESPN2. The Command Center's on the U. The AT&T 5G Skycast on ESPN News. And, of course, you got all the radio broadcasts. You get Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, and TCU. All there.
It's one of those where you need obviously you got the TV, you got to pull up the computer, the iPad, the phone, get all those broadcasts going.
Syracuse offense 15-yard line and a grab to Devon Cooper. Gives the Orange a first down, but Syracuse out of timeouts in under 50 seconds. Schrader looking for the far sideline, now going to loop it for Cooper. He made the catch! And rolled out of bounds around the 35.
Rolling on the field, there's a catch for a first down.
Smith was kind of tracing steps, but heck of a grab by Cooper.
Hard for those DBs to get in and out of their breaks with the field conditions.
And now
on the field,
they're going to review the grab of Devon Cooper.
Previous play is under further review.
We'll check with you here.
See it from that.
It's called a catch on the field, Roddy.
This will give us a better idea.
I think his hands are under.
It looks like it from that angle.
It's a catch.
Now, does he complete it when he does the ground aid him in making the catch?
How do you know? The official's behind the play. He catches and rolls. Ball stays secured, right?
It does. It doesn't look like the ball moved when he rolls over and it touches the ground. The ball can touch the ground. It just can't aid in help. It can't aid in you making the catch.
But is there indisputable video evidence to change the call?
Not from what we've seen there.
Okay.
Based on the replays that we've gotten, and replays able to put all of these together at the same time so they can look at it. But this is the best angle, and I'm not even sure you can say the ball definitely hit the ground. It probably hits the ground there, but without a shot telling you with zero doubt, indisputable video evidence, I'm not sure you can overturn it. I would imagine, based on what we've seen, this will stand.
Syracuse has gathered 52 yards on this drive. They only had 58 in their first 4 drives.
Also operates as basically a timeout for Syracuse. They
Correct.
Get everything together, get up to the line, talk about strategy now, reminders, get out of bounds if you can. If you catch the ball and don't get across the first down marker,
and if you're Dino
Babers, gonna have to go no spikes, under 3 seconds, all that stuff.
If you're Dino Babers, you're looking for touchdown here. And
after review, the ruling on the field stands. First down. The game clock will start on my signal.
Orange is already on the line, ready to go.
It's the best case scenario for Syracuse. Play stands and you waste as little time as possible because of the stoppage.
Clock starts on the whistle. Here's the throw, and that one is ruled a catch.
Would have been better if it was incomplete.
Yeah, LaQuint Allen into the flat on the boundary side. 27 seconds left. Minnesota trying to get there. They're going to throw. It's caught. That's Alford. He reaches. It's a touchdown for the Orange. And Damian Alford.
Rolling on the field, a touchdown.
What a drive by Syracuse. The throw by Garrett Schrader. See if he does get in through the contact. Knees down. It's going to be short. But still, I mean, it's going to put him on the 2-yard line, maybe the 1.
They're going to review this, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. That's Scott Campbell finally
Rolling on
got
the field
post.
of a touchdown is under further review.
And again, it operates like a timeout for Syracuse. They're going to get word based on the replays that they're going to be short, so they're able to set up and give those reminders. And number 1 among those, don't take a sack if you're Garrett Schrader. Yeah, that knee clearly down before the ball gets in the end zone. The question is, where's it going to be? I think it's going to be about the 1.5 yards away from the end zone. 1.5 yard line. There's not a line there, but
Ed Curran, our director, his camera folks doing a great job for us at Yankee Stadium to show you the bang-bang nature of the catch and potential score for Damian Alford.
How about the throw, though? Right in the hole, behind the corner, ahead of the safety. Good delivery by Garrett Schrader, who had a couple get away from him early on. But on this drive, he's made some excellent throws, and the receivers have shown up for him.
So Scott Campbell into the monitor again. So, Roddy, the real question is, where did the knee go down, the timing of that, and then it is a first down. so it will start on the snap.
You see Darius Green not able to get over there in time. Ryan Stapp trailing. You are right. So it's a first down. So the clock will start on the officials ready for play.
Right.
But it's just like before. Syracuse is going to be on the ball, ready to go. Yeah, I think the ball is going to be just outside the 1 yard line, right around that 1 yard line.
Can you run it?
After
No.
review, the runner's knee was down with the ball at the 1 yard line. Please reset the game clock to 20 seconds, and the game clock will start on my signal.
If you run it here and you're tackled before you score, I mean, you're only going to be able to get off probably one more play. But if you throw it, you've got a shot for 3 plays if they're quick.
Gadsden, top of your screen. Alford, bottom of the screen. That's Gadsden in the boundary against Beanie Bishop. Clock starts. There's the snap. Schrader to his right, fakes it. Now at the 5, Garrett will score standing. He wanted to throw, but he ends up running for the touchdown.
With the amount of time that play took, it's one of those where he takes off. You got to be sure. You got to end up in the end zone. Because if you don't, the half's over. But Garrett Schrader
54
had
is
an
where
opportunity
98.
to throw it early, sees it, and with that size and speed, able to get in the end zone to bring it within 1 score for this Orange team. What a drive to end the half. The offense coming alive.
Schrader goes a yard for the score. 5 plays, 86 yards in 47 seconds. And here is the point from Andre Schmidt that cuts the deficit in half. Don't forget, this season All-State celebrates every field goal and extra point made by participating universities in making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, All-State. What an important score for the Orange, Roddy.
And you go back, it was a really big stop. They opted not to go for it on 4th down. They get the stop defensively. They're pinned back deep. But Garrett Schrader in this receiving core was absolutely fantastic. The early delivery to Devon Cooper got them started. And that first down is oftentimes the hardest. But these throws down there on the sideline, a great catch by Cooper again. And then to Alford, almost gets in the end zone, and it's finished off by Garrett Schrader. Wanted to throw, takes off and runs. You got to be right. And he absolutely was getting the football into the end zone.
So maybe new life for Dino Babers and Jason Beck in the offense.
They get the ball first in the second half. There's 8 seconds left. You've got to, Minnesota's going to kneel it out. And so you have an opportunity coming out of halftime to tie this ball game up.
Yep. So Redding will be deep for the Gophers. Boy, what an interesting sequence of events that gets us to the locker rooms here at halftime.
And in these low possession games, which is what Minnesota wants to play, running the football, draining the clock, stealing a possession like that, stealing a score like that, I mean, it's huge.
Here's Redding off the 3. Could be the final play of the half. Flag down as he reaches the 35 with no time left to go on this first half clock. Before the teams are helped to the locker room, we'll get.
During the return, holding number 29, receiving team. That penalty is declined. That's the half.
So we get to halftime with Syracuse taking about a scoop and a half of momentum with them, Roddy.
I would say so. And Dino Babers pressing all the right buttons. Jason Beck on that last drive, and Garrett Schrader, I mean, the throws that he made and the plays that those receivers made, a couple of Devon Cooper catches, it really feels like Syracuse survived Minnesota's early wave and did a nice job of getting one right before halftime.
Meanwhile, Minnesota sandwiched 2 9-play drives of about 60 yards in 4 minutes. One, the Ibrahim 4-yard run, and then Tanner Morgan in relief of Ethan Kaliamakis tosses 21 yards to Daniel Jackson. 14-7 is our score at halftime at the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. Here is Kevin Connors.
Welcome to the TikTok Half. Welcome back to Capital One Bowl Mania.
We welcome you back to the big ballpark in the Bronx. The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. We're at Yankee Stadium for the 6th meeting all time between Minnesota and Syracuse. We get ready for the second half kick, and the Gophers have a 14-7 lead. And with Roddy Jones, Wes Durham, Taylor Davis from the sideline in just a moment. Felt like Syracuse picked up a lot of momentum with that fast touchdown drive in the final minute of the first half.
Yeah, Minnesota really controlled most of the first half with their run game, and their defense was excellent. But Syracuse stole one. That quick drive, 5 plays, the big explosive plays that they had, get them on the board. And now they get the ball first in the second half. But in that first half, I thought the ability for Minnesota to be able to run the football was the biggest thing. And it's what we expected coming in. Mohamed Ibrahim has been fantastic with over 70 yards in the first half, setting a number of records, plunges in the end zone. He scored that first touchdown. And it was Tanner Morgan who came in later on, as you get another shot of Ibrahim. It was Tanner Morgan who came in later on with an absolute dime of a throw down the field. It's a great catch in the corner of the end zone. And that got Minnesota up by a couple scores, but Syracuse on that last drive, Garrett Schrader finding Devon Cooper a number of times. Had a great catch on the sideline. Got Damian Alford down inside the 1-yard line, and then Schrader ran it in at the end, that 1-yard run.
And the second half kickoff squirms around at the 13, and Pena falls on it. And the Orange will take over there. That's our Tax Act performance update, by the way. Let's go downstairs. Here's Taylor.
Well, guys, I spoke with Dino Babers coming out of the locker room at half. I asked him what he could build off of from that last drive in the first half. He said, well, our quarterback settled in, he's making his throws, and our receivers were in the places they were supposed to be. He said, if we continue that, this thing could get interesting. And defensively, he said, there wasn't much time to adapt in game with the quarterback switch at Minnesota, but he said, it's not really about the quarterbacks, it's about their offensive line. He said, they lean on you, they wear you out. We have to manage movements to contradict their attack. That is the focus for their defense in this second half, guys.
All right, and Aronde Gadsden starts the second half with his 3rd catch from Garrett Schrader. It's a pickup of 9, so quickly 2nd and 1 off Syracuse's worst field position to start a drive today. Its own 13 on what could end up being a pretty important drive at day's end. And here is LaQuint Allen, and he will break the plane of the 23 for the first down. Coleman Bryson, a tough hit there out of the Minnesota secondary. There's a look at 1-6. Freshman from Waynesville, North Carolina, right near the North Carolina-Georgia line, Roddy.
He shot into the backfield. But not before Allen was able to get the first down. You see a lot of young guys. We've seen a lot of young guys playing already in this game.
Sure have. Here is a quick throw, right side, Gadsden again. And he'll turn and get up the far sideline, and another first down ahead of Lindenberg, the linebacker. And one of the things you saw during the course of the year for Syracuse, you go back and kind of look at it, is Gadsden sees everybody defend him, Roddy. Corners, safeties, and in this case, Lindenberg, the linebacker, ends up involved.
And because he's in that slot position and he's listed as a tight end, I don't think any team considers him a tight end. He's listed as a tight end. You're going to get those slot defenders on him a lot.
LaQuint Allen, the carry for about 3, and a flag from the umpire is thrown in as the play was dissolving. And we're going to check with the referee, Scott Campbell of the Big 12.
Personal foul, face mask, number 55, defense, 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run, automatic. First down.
Well, Mariano Sori-Marin guilty of the penalty there. First penalty of the day on the Gophers.
The first time we've called Sori-Marin's name as well. Such a big part of this defense in the middle. Their leading tackler, their emotional leader.
Schrader, a dime for Alford. Inside the 30 to the 25 goes Damian Alford. They'll spot it to the Minnesota 24 against Bryson.
It's a good job of manipulation of the secondary by Garrett Schrader. Sort of pumps the route out in the flat, brings the corner up, and then throws that ball right in the hole between the corner and the safety. Nice job by Schrader.
It's 30 yards, Roddy, and all of a sudden the Orange are rolling, and Schrader eludes a sack to his right, throws, offered a catch. A little now you see me, now you don't, huh?
Yeah, you're going to get an illegal man downfield, though. One of the offensive guards was about 10 yards down the field. But how about this? I mean, they're completely surprised by the safety blitz by Darius Green, but he can't get him down.
Still first down.
Unfortunately for Syracuse, had an eligible downfield.
Damian Alford almost took out our replay monitor in this ball game as well.
Dino Babers said something to Taylor that I think is evident on this first drive. The confidence that Garrett Schrader gained on that last drive, you can absolutely see it.
Here's LaQuinn Allen, but nice play by the linebacker Lindenberg. Really like Cody Lindenberg, redshirt sophomore, came in with 60 tackles, started the last 5 of the regular season, replacing Braylon Oliver, who ultimately hit the portal. And boy, Lindenberg, there's a lot to like right here now.
There is. 6'3", 235 pounds. Great athleticism getting out on the perimeter. A really nice job filling in.
Here is Schrader now, right in the middle of the field. And hit right away was Cooper. And it's still going to be 3rd and almost the full 10. Sorry Merritt, the tackle for the Gophers.
If you're Syracuse, where do you go? Rondé Gadsden's obviously the #1 target, but we've seen Cooper and Alford make plays for Garrett Schrader. And then Minnesota, not only do you have to defend the initial drop back, but Garrett Schrader's been able to create with his feet as well.
Here is Schrader moving to his right, now going to run with it, took a big lick. Crawling up his back was Rush, the defensive end. Donald Willis was also there, 15 for the Gophers.
Now watch Willis. He's got his eyes on Garrett Schrader, and as soon as Schrader starts to come towards the line of scrimmage, he triggers and is able to bring the big quarterback down. It's really nice job. It's a good scheme, having somebody to account for the quarterback. That's Spy getting him on the ground.
Andre Schmidt, the Groza winner from a couple of years ago, tries a 40-yarder. He was 18 of 24 this year during the regular season. Kick by Schmidt is away, and it is good. So the Orange cash in for 3 points on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Minnesota's lead is 4 when we come back to New York. Well, here in the Bronx, Bad Boy Mowers, they think of everything.
It must be the deluxe edition that comes with the turntables.
DJ J. Jung on the 1s and 2s, Robbie.
Get you a bowl game that has a DJ on a lawnmower. Certified bad boy DJ. Let's go.
That's it. So, DJ J. Jung.
Found our way to a mower before the game. Should have hopped on that one.
I'll tell you something. Taylor Davis and I were impressed with your mower acumen early in the game. Quite a turn for Syracuse. You see that first 26 plays, 104 yards. Roddy, the last 13 over 2 drives, 10 points for Babers' team. There's a bouncing kick that will end up out of bounds toward Reading. And that
kickoff out of bounds
is not what
Kicking
they wanted
team.
from Brady
Put the ball at the
Denneberg.
35-yard line.
So the ball
First
goes
down.
to the Minnesota 35, and now Tanner Morgan will come out and cube the Gophers here. And I don't think Dino likes that at all. Quick reminder to you, tomorrow night, a lot of orange at Hard Rock in Miami Gardens. Number 6 Tennessee and number 7 Clemson. Capital One Orange Bowl is at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and of course, always available on the ESPN app. Trey Potts in the running back spot with Tanner Morgan. And a play fake on first down and a throw and a drop from Lemeki Brockington. Wow. And the Orange had fallen off in coverage around Brockington.
Quan Peterson, the corner, lost his footing coming out of this break, so Brockington would have had a chance, a lot of space. Looked like he sensed it a little bit. You see his eyes dart inside.
So here is the second and 10 play for Morgan. Potts stays in the ball game with it. And he will get the carry here. And Potts is brought down shy of the 38. Kayvon Darton was there, and let's check with Taylor Davis.
Yeah, guys, PJ Fleck mentioned at halftime the condition of the turf and how it's affecting some of his guys. He even said that at halftime, several of them were going to be changing shoes. They brought several options, different length of cleats to handle the field here tonight, and a few of them at halftime having to swap it up, saying that traction is just difficult to come by in this one.
Yeah, we saw several slips, if you will. Now 3rd and long. Minnesota 5 for 8 on 3rd down in the first half. Morgan, quick shot, catch made by Wright, but he's not going to be close to the first down at the 42. Isaiah Johnson right there in the cover for the Orange.
Just an underneath route that Syracuse perfectly fine with letting you have that one coming up and making the tackle.
Two is wearing 96.
Johnson does a nice job of wrapping him up to get this Syracuse defense off the field. And after the performance of the offense, the last 2 drives, Syracuse has got to be feeling it.
First 3 and out of the day posted by the Orange on defense. And this is Pena fielding the kick off the foot of Crawford. So we get a timeout. Syracuse's second possession, now trailing just 4 at the Pinstripe Bowl.
What's up, guys? It's Mariano Sori-Marin. Bonus episode here of Meals with Mariano in New York City, the Big Apple, here for the Pinstripe Bowl. We are outside Kat's Famous Deli. About to enjoy some pastrami and corned beef. Pastrami. I got one of them. That's why we waited in line, folks.
Mariano Sori-Marin. I told you, we're dealing with a savant, Roddy. We're dealing with a guy.
PJ Fleck told us that he had reservations all over the city.
Yeah.
Reservations that PJ Fleck couldn't even get.
Yep. Here's Schrader in the Orange trying to dial up Gadsden. They do on first down. Boy, they have found a Rondé Gadsden, Roddy, on first down throws, seemingly to kind of open up drives, and a tackle by Bryson there after the grab.
When Syracuse has been good, it's been those first down passes that have gotten them going. Those positive plays, and Rondé Gadsden in this half, a couple of big ones on first down.
11 yards in the first down. LaQuint Allen trying the left side. He'll pick up big space here across midfield. Bryson drags him down, but not before he gets to the Gopher 40-yard line.
It's a well-designed play, a nice call by Jason Beck. It looks like quarterback counter going one way, but you hand the ball to the running back going the other. Watch the 2 pullers going to the left to make it look like quarterback counter, and then LaQuint Allen breaks a couple of tackles, shows the speed.
Here goes Allen right side, and he gets flipped over shy of the 32 by Houghton, the safety.
It's the same play, opposite direction.
Yep.
If it works once, why not try it again?
And now all of a sudden the Orange offense has clearly got a little bit of working rhythm for themselves.
Certainly do. This defense has been excellent this year.
Here's Schrader. Oh, he threw the pick. It's Bryson. Coleman Bryson still on his feet. And he will score on the pick 6.
Felt like Minnesota really needed this one. Coleman Bryson just reads the eyes of Garrett Schrader, undercuts the route, and then a nice job of staying inbounds and on your feet. Taking it to the house, finishing the play. Everything had gone Syracuse way so far during this second half. But the freshman, Coleman Bryson, with a massive play on the pick 6.
Interception return is the first of young Bryson's. The interception's his first of his career, and you know the touchdown's the first of his career. How about the turn in one play here in the Bronx? Trying to get it to a Rondé Gadsden, who's made play after play today. Coleman Bryson having none of it. Nearly 70 yards on a pick six, and the Gopher lead is 11. Well, back here in New York, where Coleman Bryson has just put his name in postseason lore for Minnesota. A 70-yard pick six, Roddy, off of Garrett Schrader on a ball intended for Gadsden to make it 21-10 Minnesota.
It's just a great read. He looks like he has Gadsden man-to-man. Gadsden goes on the out, and he undercuts it. And the Minnesota fans are doing something that you could call dancing. It kind of looks like the way you dance, Wes.
Easy. Easy now, big fella. How about Coleman Bryson, a freshman from Waynesville, North Carolina. Went to school at Raymond Gap right across the line in Georgia. And as a true freshman who only had 2 tackles coming into the game during the course of the regular season, and Pena hurdled a guy beyond the 25. And the Orange now again playing uphill, trail 11, as they come back on the field. Don't forget the All-State Sugar Bowl is Saturday at high noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Alabama and Bryce Young take on Deuce Vaughn and the Big 12 champion K-State Wildcats. First ever meeting between these two schools. Alabama's played 1,330 games. Kansas State 1,268. They've never met.
That's what bowl games are for. Right. Streaks like that.
Yep, exactly right.
Alabama, Bryce Young and Will Anderson both opting to play in the game. They could be the first 2 picks in the draft.
Yep.
And they're playing. You certainly never fault a guy for not wanting to play in a game, but when those 2 guys of that stature do, you got to commend them. Be exciting to see them one more time for Alabama.
LaQuint Allen got 5 on first down. Schrader right back to the throw game. And that is Allen for a first down. Just beyond the mark at the 37. Lindenberg, the linebacker there. Roddy, it has been a discussion point, as you know, throughout the world of college football and the landscape of guys opting out of bowl games, preparation for draft, transfer portal certainly impacts it, and what the future of that is when the playoff gets expanded too. It's an interesting talking point in the next couple of years.
It certainly will. I can't see guys opting out for playoff games.
Drop by Pena. Throw right across the middle, and Bryson is starting to announce his presence here at Yankee Stadium.
Consider it announced. It's a good throw by Garrett Schrader. Pena has an opportunity, but braces for the hit. And Bryson makes sure that he feels it on the back end.
Second down and 10. Pena in motion. Give is to Allen. Has to break away from one. Now eludes Sorry Barron and will pick up the first down. Houghton, the safety, makes the tackle. What a terrific run for LaQuint Allen of a dozen and a first down.
It's a really good play by Cody Lindenberg to kind of get around this block and slow Allen down. But I think you've seen during this game why these coaches are so excited about LaQuint Allen. And they are really high on his future.
Here's Schrader to Allen out of the backfield. Tries to turn it upfield, breaks the 45, knocked down by Sorry Barron. The linebacker out in space. It's interesting, Jason Beck's first comment to us about LaQuint Allen is, 10 more pounds. You know, we put 10 more pounds on him. He's 205, maybe 210. Taylor, it's an opportunity, though, with Tucker declaring for the draft for LaQuint Allen.
It absolutely is, and he's a guy who's going to take advantage of it. He told me this week when we spoke that he has taken every opportunity to learn from Sean Tucker. Definitely a good mentor for him this season. And keep in mind, guys, Sean Tucker accounted for 30% of Q's total offensive yards this season. That's a lot of production, and this young guy is getting his opportunity on a big stage, and the coaches expected he would take advantage of it.
Yep, and Allen's come out, and Jawan Price, redshirt sophomore from Phoenix, and there is the aforementioned magician, Sean Tucker, who is pleased, Roddy.
No doubt he is pleased by the performance of LaQuint Allen.
Yeah, there's Alford the catch on first down. I tell you this about Sean Tucker. 5 100-yard games this year. He's the 4th player in Syracuse history to run for 3,000 or more yards. And I don't know if can't miss is too strong a term, Roddy, but he's going to be really good at the next level, I think.
He is, and I think this year he showed his ability to catch the ball a lot more out of the backfield. Robert and I using him in a lot of different ways. He has the explosiveness, the track speed. He's got incredible balance in the lower half.
We're watching the young man Price out of Phoenix carry the ball in relief of Allen here on this possession. And Soriano Marin makes the play again for Minnesota. 3rd down and 6. He'll come out of the lineup.
You have to imagine with the deficit, the number of possessions that you think you're going to have. This is 4-down territory. So if you're Garrett Schrader and you can't get it all, get it to 4th and 2 or 3.
LaQuint Allen to the boundary at the right. He's the target of Schrader, makes the catch, got the foot down, 1st down Syracuse. At the 35, Donald Willis was right there in his pocket.
Going on the field's a catch. 1st down.
How about the receiver skills by Allen? Nice break, goes up, catches it with the hands, gets the foot in bounds to left foot, boom, in. Got the right foot in too, good boy.
Dino Babers pointing to the turf to make sure that the officials were on it. Here goes Allen, boy, runs right into trouble though. Lindenberg again. Thomas Rush looped around one of the defensive ends. And then Cody Lindenberg went to work.
And going back to LaQuint Allen, when we talked to Jason Beck, he said that he is the best running back in terms of receiver skills that he's really ever been around, which is high praise. I mean, when he was at Virginia under Bronco Mendenhall, they had Smoke Mizell, who was an incredible receiver out of the backfield.
Schrader from the pocket, now he's got a bail, he can run with it. Garrett stretches for the 20. Sori Marin again, the tackle. Logan Redding was also there, one of the defensive ends.
It's good closing speed by Mariano Sori Marin. I thought Garrett Schrader had a little bit of a lane there with a full head of steam.
Yeah.
They got him not going, but Sori Marin tracked him down.
Tell you what, the Meals thing was in my wheelhouse, but Sori Marin's shown you some skill here in the second half too.
What's not to like on the field and at the delicatessen.
Inside 2 to play here in the 3rd. Schrader a pump. Wants Gadsden, now got to re-rack it. In trouble, giving ground. Tries to throw and does. On the far side for Hatcher, it was Joyner who was tracking him for the Gophers. And
timeout for an injured defensive player.
Minnesota player is shaken up is Lindenberg, I believe, and it is.
He got hurt on the cut by LaQuint Allen. Immediately grabs for that ankle. He has had a nice game today. Such a good, solid linebacker. Physical at the point of attack, defeating blocks. Shown his athleticism going sideline to sideline.
So Cody Lindenberg being tended to here. And Syracuse with 4th and 5 at the Gopher 20 is the next snap.
Comes through and immediately LaQuint Allen goes down and tries to get him low.
So you see them checking on Lindenberg and the 11 tackles he has posted today. And starting his 6th straight ball game. And this would be another tough loss for the Gophers here, Taylor.
No, Sori Marin and his impact on this team. Coaches actually refer to him as the heartbeat of this team. Well, I asked him this week, who are you passing the torch to? And he said, I've already passed it, and it's going to Lindenberg. This is a guy who is young but has already made an impact on this team on and off the field. Would be a substantial loss.
Yeah. And take the first half injury to Ethan Kaliak-Manis, the quarterback, that brought Tanner Morgan, who's another terrific story. Just from a experience and perseverance standpoint in this Gopher program.
We also haven't seen a lot of Tyler Nubin today.
Right.
the excellent safety for the Gophers, who didn't play against Wisconsin due to injury. So Minnesota being bitten by the injury bug.
Yep.
And games like this really test your depth. Minnesota only had one opt-out in this game. It was the center, John Michael Schmitz. Syracuse dealing with a bunch more. Now Dino Babers has a decision to make. Do you attempt a long field goal?
By the way,
it's not that long a field goal.
Kaliak Manis, you see with the boot, Roddy.
Yeah.
On the Gopher sideline.
54 is where 98.
And so Andre Schmidt going to try and cut this to a 8-point game. And this is right inside. It's 38 yards. Schmidt hit from 40 at this end of the stadium. And here's another one. This one from 38 and cleanly through. So Syracuse has had the ball 3 times. Schmidt's kicked 2 field goals. And it's an 8-point game with 1:38 to play here in the third. Don't forget, college football playoff semifinals are Saturday on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. We'll start you out in the desert with number 2 Michigan, number 3 TCU in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl, 4 o'clock Eastern time. And then number 1 Georgia, number 4 Ohio State at the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. The winners play Monday night, January 9th at SoFi Stadium, right there by LAX on ESPN and the ESPN app. And of course, sometimes, as Roddy said, you get these unique matchups. The last time these two teams played 9 years ago at NRG Stadium, the 2013 Texas Bowl. Max Williams, a 20-yard touchdown catch. Drew Wolotarski, 55 yards, 2-point conversion attempt. Minnesota came back to take the lead 17-14. But late in the game, Terrell Hunt, who rushed for 188 yards and 2 scores from Rosemont, New York, gave the Orange the win for Scott Schaefer. 21-17.
Just glad Syracuse didn't go with those helmets in this game.
The metallic blue? Huh? Come on. Here's Redding off the kick. Fake the reverse. He'll keep it near side. And here is Redding. And he stays in bounds. He's got blockers. And is spun around and dropped by the kicker, Denneberg, at the 25. And along the way, Denneberg, I think, did Denneberg tackle him without a helmet?
I think he did. But what a return by Minnesota.
82 yards, Roddy, unofficially.
And yes, the fake, it seems like it does throw Syracuse off a little bit, but the blocking was the most impressive. And you are right. No, the helmet comes off in the act of the tackle. But wow, what an explosion by Minnesota. You get the pick 6, you get the big return.
And it's not his longest of the year. He had a 92-yarder against Purdue. Potts is the running back. And Wax had him dead to rights. He spins out of that, but into a stack of white jerseys at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play for Potts.
Looks like we have not seen this Minnesota offense at all in the second half. They had the one drive, but because of the pick 6 and Syracuse being able to drive the football, haven't seen him very much, and we haven't seen Mohamed Ibrahim at all. Didn't seem to be hurt in the first half, but PJ Fleck may just be taking care of him after him deciding to play in this game.
Here's the second down play, and into space, and breaking free is Jackson for the touchdown. Daniel Jackson is in the end zone for the second time today.
This is all set up by the blocks of the offensive line. Watch number 65, Axel Rushmeyer. I mean, he passed it off, and then with a full head of steam, he is coming down and hunting defensive backs down the field. Jason Simmons jumps out of the way. I don't want any part of that either, big dog. And Daniel Jackson's able to get in the end zone.
How about Tanner Morgan, Roddy? Comes in and now has delivered a couple of touchdown passes. And the lead is 15 after the point from Trickett.
I think you have to give a lot of credit to the non-offensive phases for Minnesota in this second half. The offense obviously finishes it, and my goodness, that's a lot of man out in front of Daniel Jackson to lead him into the end zone. But defensive touchdown in the second half. You've held Syracuse to field goals and not let them score touchdowns. And then you get the big special teams play to get you close to make it easy on your offensive line. This has been a really good display of how Minnesota has been able to win games this year. The offense has struggled for much of the season, and while they haven't necessarily in this game, the recipe has been defense, special teams, and then the offense able to capitalize when needed.
So Daniel Jackson's in the end zone for the second time. Had a terrific finish to the regular season, 21 catches in the last 5 games. He's now got 4 for 73 and 2 touchdowns. PJ Fleck's gone night vision on us here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. And he's got a 15-point lead.
Syracuse.
Pena will wait on the kick here. Dragon Kesic of the Gophers. One of the nation's leaders in touchback. Can't quite get it to the inline, and here is Pena bringing it out of the end zone across the 25 toward about the 28, where the Orange now with about 15.5 minutes to go in this ball game. Got to get ready. Coming up, don't forget, our full day of Capital One Bowl Mania continues. Off to Orlando, Roddy, for Oklahoma and number 13 Florida State in the Cheez-It Bowl. And then tonight along the Riverwalk at the Alamo Dome, number 20 Texas and number 12 Washington. All of it also available on the ESPN app, so you can watch it anywhere. The Noles are one worth watching in Orlando.
They absolutely are. I mean, Florida State's got a chance to win 10 games this year. Brent Venables, the former defensive coordinator at Clemson.
Yep.
So he played Florida State every year while he was there, and Mike Norvell. So we'll see if they're able to get right defensively. They have not been a vintage Brent Venables defense this season.
That battery of Jordan Travis and Trey Benson tonight.
Both of whom are coming back.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Mike Norvell and the job that he's done in Tallahassee, it sort of went under the radar because of those 3 losses in the middle of the season. He's done an excellent job, and they are as fun to watch running the football on offense as anybody in the country.
Sorry, Marin makes a tackle for loss on LaQuinn Allen's catch to end the third. Final 15 from the Bronx coming up. What an interesting third period. But the highlight, 70-yard pick 6. Coleman Bryson. And then Quentin Reddings, 81-yard kick return sets up this score by Daniel Jackson. We welcome you back to the South Bronx and the Pinstripe Bowl presented by Bad Boy Mowers. It's part of Capital One Bowl Mania, and we're at Yankee Stadium with Roddy Jones, Taylor Davis, West Durham, Minnesota 28, Syracuse 13. As we go to the 4th and final period of play in the 12th edition of this event. And the Orange has the ball. 3rd down and 5, but trailing 15. The PJ Fleck's Gophers. Quick throw here on the perimeter. That's a heck of a catch by Allen, and then the fumble, and the ball's out. Is it going to be ruled a fumble or incomplete?
Imagine this is going to be incomplete.
Scott Campbell, the referee, is coming in. No signal yet from his crew. Right in front of the Minnesota bench.
The ruling on the field was a fumble forward out of bounds. We'll bring the ball back to the spot of the fumble, which is in advance of the line to gain. 1st down, Syracuse.
So Minnesota did not control the fumble, Roddy.
Interesting. So there's a time element to this. In their estimation, had the ball long enough. He is going to the ground. It's a move common to the game, so you have to control it before you go out of bounds. And as you can see, Darius Green, when he hits the ground, he's juggling it just slightly.
1st and 10 out of all that for the Orange, and a deep shot for Alford, who can't hang on. In coverage against Beanie Bishop. A Western Kentucky transfer for the Gopher program, who had 28 tackles on the year.
Bishop there in the slot. Good job at the top of the route. Just disturbing Damian Alford enough, who had a pretty good shot at catching that ball.
Yep.
Looks like he's banged up a little bit after that.
And Alford down on the Orange bench. 2nd down and 10. Schrader on a play fake, out on the perimeter, and that ball toward Gadsden fell short, incomplete. Jordan out into coverage. Sorry, Robbie.
No, there's been a couple of times where that ball sort of died on Garrett Schrader out to the flats, especially the wide side of the field.
Yep.
That one a little low there. It really feels like Syracuse offense has controlled the second half, and yet because of the defensive touchdown, because of the special teams play, and because they haven't been able to punch the ball in the end zone.
Minnesota, 1st of the half.
PJ Fleck
30 seconds.
is
30 seconds.
in deep conversation here with the Big 12 crew that is on duty here at the Pinstripe Bowl. And now he wants a word with referee Scott Campbell about proceedings. And you see, Roddy, here to your point, only 31 yards of offense, but don't forget Coleman Bryson ran one back 70 for a score.
And then you had a short drive after the kickoff return. After the big kickoff return. I mean, if you'd have told Minnesota, hey, going into the 4th quarter, early in the 4th quarter, you'd have 197 yards of offense, I think they'd be a little concerned, and yet here they are, up 15.
Right.
Dino Babers on the other side. His defense has really settled down. Offensively, they got to put the ball in the end zone, though, certainly if they're going to get back in this one.
Yep. Might be a free play, and it is for Schrader. He's pointing long. He's going to zip one down the field. It's intercepted. That's picked off by Green. It won't stand because of the offside against Minnesota. Schrader knew he had a free play, Roddy.
Yeah, I think the concerning thing for Syracuse.
Offside, number 17. Defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still 3rd down.
That's Joyner.
Concerning thing for Syracuse is I mean, Garrett Schrader's got a free play, as you see. Josh Joyner there clearly jumps off. But, I mean, this ball kind of dies on Garrett Schrader, too. It's well underthrown, and his base wasn't completely set, but it's a couple of times where the ball's just been dying on him.
Yeah. Here is Schrader. Pressure coming now. He's in real trouble. And he'll be sacked. It's Joyner, and it's Sori Marin.
Tell you what, ever since we said, hey, we haven't called Mariano Sori Marin's name a lot.
Right.
He has been on fire. And also, I mean, you played, what is it, Meals with Mariano as well? Since then, he's been fantastic. You see Josh Joyner there on the edge, but it's Sori Marin who comes up the middle and cleans it up. But Joyner forces Schrader up in the pocket for Sori Marin, who's been all over it.
Yep. And a punt off the side of the foot of Von Markberg. And Minnesota is going to get pretty good field position. Already up 15. Gophers looking for more when we come back to the Bronx at the Pinstripe Bowl. All right, Kevin, from one great bomber, Ithaca College's Kevin Connors, by the way, noted marksman, Roddy, in hoops, by the way.
Sharpshooter.
Oh, yeah. Have game will travel to the home of the Bronx Bombers is where I was going with that. Here's Trey Potts on the 1st down carry and slipped as he got into the Orange territory at the 46.
Had a couple slippages on that one. Potts slipping. He was trying to turn the corner. Elijah Clark was coming from safety depth. Watch 5 come up the middle. Whoop! Yeah, he's playing on ice. And then on the back end, whoop! The Trey Potts going down. Looked like he got on the lakes in Central Park, skating around.
Yep. Second and short. That might be the only place you didn't see in New York.
Oh, no, I saw that place.
You did get Central
Everything
Park?
south of 81st Street.
Oh, nicely done. Yeah. Here's a second down and short from Morgan. And Potts lost his footing there. And that was enough for Syracuse to rally, Roddy.
And as it gets colder and the ground gets harder, it is going to be hard. It is going to be more difficult to get those cleats in the ground. And for a running back, you have a lot more control of the positioning of your feet. You got to dig those cleats in under the frame of your body. When you start to get outside the frame, that's where you get those slippages. But it appears that we have not seen Mohamed Ibrahim at all in this second half. It appears that his day might be done.
Yeah, he might be wrapped up. He's still dressed on the sideline for the Gophers. But here is Potts on third and short. And he's not going to get there. The Orange knock him back. And they do it with one of their noted threats, Caleb Okachukwu. There he is, co-host of the Mob podcast with Marlo Wax.
I'll tell you what, this Syracuse defense, these young players, they were ravaged by opt-outs, transfers, injuries. Done a nice job against this Minnesota run game and this Minnesota offensive line. Certainly an improvement over the performances against some of the better offensive lines they faced in terms of running the football during the year.
So Pena, I believe, it is wearing jersey 96 here, and the reason being is because I believe Wax stays on the field here for the punt, and that would put 2 twos on the field, and you can't do that in college football. You can award the number to as many players as you want, I think. They may change the rule eventually, but it's a broadcaster's nightmare, kids. I'm just telling you. So 2 becomes 96. It's a fair catch, Roddy. And guess what? Orange has the ball with number 2, Pena, lined up at wide receiver when we come back to the Bronx.
The College Football Playoff Semifinals, Saturday, December 31st on ESPN.
The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl is brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers, proud partner of New York's bowl game. Mow with an attitude.
Well, on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, you get the Empire State Building, of course. Roddy, later tonight, it's in maroon and orange now. Later tonight, it will showcase the colors of the winner.
Yes, it will.
So orange for the Orange, or maroon for Minnesota if our score holds. We welcome you back to the South Bronx. Incomplete pass from Schrader intended on the perimeter toward DeMarcus Adams. Got deflected at the line of scrimmage, so 2nd and 10 coming up for Syracuse.
Syracuse on offense has been able to turn up some yardage in the second half, but Minnesota's been so good when they've gotten inside, really their own 40. Forcing Syracuse to get field goal.
Look at Schrader. Pick one to Gadsden right across the middle. First down out near the 28 for Rondé Gadsden, the second. And hang on now. He's grabbing for a moment his knee. Is he going to make his feet? He is. And Gadsden will get off the field. Meanwhile, Darius Green is shaken up on the play. Collision with Gadsden, I think.
Timeout for an injured defensive player.
So a timeout is taken. Rondé got to the sideline in the bench area. Green still down for the Gophers.
It's had a pretty nice game. Schrader fakes quarterback run, hits Gadsden. His leg kind of got caught up, and then Green gets caught at the bottom of the pile.
Yep.
It's not a fun place to be. It's cold, people landing on you. You landed on people. Although these guys from Minnesota are warming up with no shirts on before the game.
What's not that cold for guys in Minnesota?
Exactly.
Especially given the last, 6 or 8 days. It's a warming trend here in Manhattan.
Almost 50 today.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, here is LaQuint Allen. banging away toward the 33. And Bryson, the safety who had the pick 6, which stands as a game changer.
Yeah.
If Minnesota goes on to win today, Coleman Bryson's first ever career interception is going to go down as a magical play for the Gophers. Here's Schrader on a keep, got a little bit of blocking and got the first down, stretching out to the 44.
Syracuse not out of this thing yet.
Kyler Ball the tackle here, but well, if you're Dino Babers and Jason Beck, you've got to get it cranked up here pretty good.
Feels like you need a play. I mean, Minnesota's had all the momentum plays, really all the chunk plays, other than the one Syracuse drive right before the half where they were able to go and create a couple of big plays, go 60 yards in 2 plays.
Flag thrown on the run by LaQuint Allen. And I think we're going to get a penalty here of sort from referee Campbell.
Illegal motion, number 7, offense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still first down.
On Devon Cooper. And he was the guy in motion toward the near side.
There he is, bottom of your screen.
There you go.
I thought that was, at least from that angle, he may have been going towards the line of scrimmage. We just couldn't see it from our angle, but it looked like he was all right.
Schrader wanted to go deep. He'll throw near side. Allen the catch. Willis got enough of him to take him to the ground. Now, Allen might have been slipping at the same time here.
That's a really good play by Donald Willis, though. The linebacker having to scamper out and try and get something on LaQuint Allen before he was off to the races. I mean, if he doesn't get him here, there's another 20 yards in that thing at least, maybe more.
Yep. Well done by Willis. He was a guy they were excited to see today. A little bit more of a pronounced roll. And second and short, and that's Jawan Price, who replaced Allen after the last play. And this redshirt sophomore from Phoenix, who was at New Mexico State, and a year ago at New Mexico State. The reason I bring up the Aggies is the bowl win they had for Jerry Kill last week, Roddy. Price is a guy, he and Simmons came over during that change. He ran for nearly 700 yards and 10 touchdowns in Las Cruces a season ago. Allen has come back in for 3rd down. Here is Schrader. And Garrett Schrader's going to have the first down at the 46 of Minnesota. Well, the Gophers today with a win would win 9, Roddy, for the 11th time in school history. 3 of those 9 will have occurred in the last 6 years behind P.J. Fleck.
When you look at what P.J. Fleck did at Western Michigan, what he's done at Minnesota, I mean, I think you have to talk about him as one of the best coaches in the country.
Yep. Back foot throws Schrader, and he'll overshoot Pena. Pressured out of there by Logan Redding, the defensive end. So here's the thing, though, about Fleck. And P.J. is one of these guys, you know about the row the boat mentality and all the things that he brings to the table. Have an elite day, right? But there's a lot of substance to the style. And I don't think people recognize the substance until you sit down. If you're a Gopher fan, you know by now. But in our preparation and work here, it was really interesting to hear kind of about the full program as opposed to just the 22 team as well. There's a 2nd and 10 throw. Allen the catch at the 40.
And I think the other part of that is his ability to adapt. I mean, this is a team a couple of years ago with incredible skill, including Rashad Bateman, that threw the ball all over the place. It's one of the best passing teams in the country. Well, this year they didn't have that personnel. So what do? They have a great running back, an All-American. They've got a really good offensive line. They got a great defense. So how can you win that way? They were able to do it.
LaQuint Allen turns the corner. He'll have the first down. Breaks the 35 to the 34 before Logan Redding is able to get him to the ground.
And here's where the offense has gotten bogged down in the second half, as they've gotten past the 35, down into towards the high red zone. They've had a tough time getting the ball in the end zone. By the way, this drive is taking a lot of time off the clock. I mean, you're only expecting probably one more possession after this one.
There's Gadsden back in the ball game. He'll make the catch at the 30. That's a gain of 4. Bryson was right there with Oronde Gadsden. I guess the bottom line to finish the thought on the Gophers, you really respect the job he's done in Minneapolis.
And look, they're going to be good next year.
That's what I mean.
With Ethan Kaliak-Manis, we've seen some of these young players on defense. I mean, Coleman Bryce and Darius Green, both young players that made impacts today.
Yep. And here is Schrader on the keep. Flag down as Schrader's taken down. Mariano Sori-Marin and Kyler Ball combined on the tackle. I think we're going to get a hold on Syracuse.
Number 57, offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still first down.
And we've got an injured Gopher, and I think it's Green who's shaken up again. Hard to tell. It is Green, Darius Green.
I like that PJ Fleck was the first guy to get to Darius Green.
I mean, again, it's... And, you know, sometimes you're around coaches, and Taylor, you know what we're talking about, with the way we visit with these coaches sometimes. You recognize the style, right, that they have, but to find the substance. And the main thing is the main thing with PJ Fleck, and that's getting better as a football program and winning.
Absolutely. I spoke with some of the players about it this week, and they said what you see is what you get with him. They have real communication with him and you know, deep relationships. We were actually speaking with some of the staff about what he did for Christmas for some of the employees' kids. He actually went shopping and bought all the kids of the staffers Christmas presents since they were going to be here for Christmas. Really intentional. They say he, you know, is involved in t-shirt designs and social media. Like, he has his hand in everything, and the players really resonate. It feels like you really get him if you play for him.
And what's he say? He's pretty honest when he says, some guys, I'm not for them.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think there is a culture at Minnesota of obviously winning tough, hard-nosed football, but there's a humility around this program that it starts with PJ Fleck. There's a humility to understand not only am I going to have to sacrifice at times to make the team better, but that may mean stats, that may mean all kinds of different things. He's been able to put guys in the NFL. It's just a really well-run program.
Here's Schrader trying to rifle one to Gadsden. Couldn't hang on through traffic. A moment ago, you saw John Michael Schmitz. He's going to be the next Gopher in the NFL, Roddy. Did not play today. And, boy, look at 60 now. That is a 35-start, sixth-year senior from Flossmoor, Illinois.
Number 1 center on Mel Kiper's big board. He's a heck of a player. First-team All-American.
Oh,
not that. Antoine Winfield Jr., heck of a player.
Yes, sir. Here is Schrader trying to load and instead overthrows Allen on 3rd and long. So now it's 4th and 16 with under 6 to go, and Strigo, by the way, was pressuring Schrader here.
And I don't think Syracuse has any choice here.
Correct.
They're just not going to get the ball back enough times. And you know, this is the part of the field where it's been tough for them in the second half.
Yep.
Minnesota giving a lot of cushion, as you would expect.
Gophers look like they're only going to bring 3 here. As somebody scurries to the line before the snap. Only 3. Schrader rolls to his left. Now in trouble, and he will be sacked. The ball got knocked away. It's ruled incomplete. He was in the grasp of Darnell Jeffries. Transfer from Clemson, Roddy.
As you would imagine, great coverage on the back end with Minnesota dropping 8. Frustrated Garrett Schrader. This Minnesota defense has been excellent, keeping Syracuse out of his end zone here in the second half.
We welcome you back to the Bronx. Roddy, let's check the Bowl Challenge Cup standings. Brought to you by Progressive. This is through the TaxAx Texas Bowl last night. Congratulations to Texas Tech. Went over the SEC and Ole Miss. Big Ten 1-0 with 8 left. ACC 3-1, leveraging 3-2 with 5 to go, including Florida State coming up next here on ESPN. What do you think? You're struggling with the 1-0 of the Big Ten leading the way.
Okay, got a lot to go. We'll see how it all shakes out. They're guaranteed at least one more loss because both Ohio
Bryce
State
Williams,
and
the ball
Michigan
carrier.
can't go undefeated in the college football playoff.
Bryce Williams, the carry on first down. Kayvon Darton, the tackle. Yard maybe on the play for Williams. As we work toward 5.5 to go. We have seen a record-setting day from the Gopher back, Mohamed Ibrahim, who only had to get the first half to do the damage. 71 yards, 16 carries, and a touchdown. There's the pistol for Tanner Morgan, who became a fixture in this game after the injury to Kaliak Mattis. There's a sack. That's going to be Gear, the defensive end. Redshirt freshman from Belton, Honeypath, down near Clemson, believe it or not. For Jatius Greer.
Timeout, Syracuse, first half.
Syracuse timeout.
30 seconds.
Going back to Mohamed Ibrahim, who, as we said, only played the first half of this game. We have not seen him in the second half. I mean, what a career. And after all that he's accomplished, the decision to play in this game, you could tell that it meant something to him. And PJ Fleck said, look, he's a football player. He just wants to know when and where and how many times he's going to get the football, and he's going to go to work. And in this game, early on, he really set the tone for the first couple of touchdowns that Minnesota scored. But the career that he has had has been one of the best, obviously, in Minnesota history, but one of the best in Big Ten history. Coming back from the injury that he had a year ago to have the season that he did this year is just absolutely tremendous. So it's been a true treat to watch him run the football.
Third down and a dozen, and here is Williams. And the Orange collapsed the run to the near side, and there is Ibrahim, who
Syracuse,
played in good counsel.
second and a half.
In Baltimore,
30
Maryland,
seconds.
you see the 16, 65, and 20 scores. The career numbers just outside the top 10 of the Big Ten all time, Roddy.
It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, he doesn't control where he gets drafted, but I mean, this guy is going to be able to run the football at the next level. He's just got too good a feel. He's got too great an understanding of how to run the ball, how to get on the edges of guys, such great balance. If he finds himself in the right situation, he might be a guy that's worth taking on your fantasy team next year, because I think he's going to be tremendous at the next level.
Huh? Did you check with Field Yates before you went there? Huh?
Oh, well, look, the field doesn't even know where he's going to go. I don't need to know where he's going to go. He's going to go somewhere, and he's going to perform.
Roddy throwing in some
Unless he goes to
fantasy notes for Field Yates. There's a punt, and Pena almost tripped up. Now going to try to reroute far side. Trevor Pena knocked out of bounds at the 37. 4.5 to play at the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. Minnesota by 15 when we continue.
Timeout on the field.
For all the Cheez-Its. Right, Roddy?
Until the next season.
Until the next season. Well done. Thanks, Kevin. Bob Wischusen, Dan Orlovsky, Chris Button standing by in O-Town. They'll be with you next. Here's Schrader in the orange now with 4.5 to go, and they again wait around. They're going to dial one deep and just beyond the reach of Adams. Wally in coverage for the Gophers.
And other than that one drive, he said it earlier, other than that one drive right before the first half ended, Syracuse has had a tough time finding big plays down the field. Adams did a nice job of creating a little bit of separation. That ball kind of brought him back towards Wally. Ends up incomplete.
Second down and 10. Schrader again, this time across the middle, and backing into the catch is Cooper. Devon Cooper with his 5th grab of the day. He was a little more impactful in the first half than what we've seen here in the second 30 minutes. Schrader again. That's Allen out of the backfield. He'll gear it down, step out of bounds.
Look at it next season. I mean, offensively, Syracuse should continue to be pretty good. LaQuint Allen, I think, is a future star in the ACC. Garrett Schrader, you have him back. Aronde Gadsden, you'll have him back. Trevor Pena, Damian Alford. Both of those guys are sophomores, so a lot of the guys that we're seeing today will be back for Syracuse.
And Allen going to be wrestled around and dropped. That's Howden, the safety, who's been impactful for Minnesota defensively. Don't forget,
30 seconds.
Check out the ESPN app immediately after the game. The Capital One post game. Taylor Davis will be handling the awards ceremony here at the Pinstripe Bowl presented by Bad Boy Mowers.
Last time I was involved in a Bad Boy Mowers game. The stage for the post-game ceremony was pulled out by a mower. I don't know if that'll be the case today. We'll have to see. Stay tuned.
It is ironic in many ways that you have become a part of the Bad Boy Mowers sponsored bowl game here again.
I'm proud to be a bad boy.
I know.
Maybe they know who the bad boys are. That's who they put on the games.
Yep.
Although the institution is what you'll see tomorrow. Anish Shroff for the second year in a row doing the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Who knows what'll have mayonnaise on it tomorrow.
It was a worldwide discussion point a year ago.
Yes, it was.
Third down. Schrader, quick throw. Grab Cooper, first down. Inside the 20 to the 18 goes Devon Cooper. Ryan Stapp might have saved the touchdown.
Great hands catch by Cooper, then the strength to fight for more yardage.
3:40 to go. Up in the pocket, Schrader, and it's knocked loose. It's loose again, and it's picked up. Mariano Sori Marin is on his horse, and not enough. There's 2 flags. Thomas Rush knocked the ball loose from Schrader. Sori Marin scooped it and had visions of scoring. But we have a marker.
A few of them.
Yep. Penalty flags at the respective 25s. You don't get to say that much.
No, you don't. We know one of them's going to be a horse collar on the tackle on Sori Marin. DeMarcus Adams,
right,
grabbing the horse collar.
And then I think that Trill Carter, who's getting a little visit from P.J. Fleck and Mohamed Ibrahim, may have been a little overzealous along the way as well.
On the field, there's a fumble recovered by the defense. Personal foul, horse collar tackle, number 85, Syracuse. That half the distance will be tacked on to the end of the run. First down.
What about the penalty back at the 25 on the right side? Maybe nothing.
I don't know what that was, but Schrader just letting the ball get away a little bit too much.
And there is no foul.
And then coming in
for
from
12
behind.
on the defense.
Thomas Rush punches it out. And it's good hustle by Adams. Most important thing is to get Sori Marin on the ground. Although in that scenario, the coaching point would be, hey, keep chugging, running the football, try and punch it out from behind. Essentially now, that basically ends the game.
The previous play is under further review.
Oh, boy. Now, let me also add something about a football game being played in a baseball stadium. Mariano Sori Marin was running away from the video board at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Now, Roddy, you know,
a football stadium, you'd be peeking.
Right.
See who's coming up from behind.
And you're checking your rearview mirror, aren't you?
You certainly are. Are they checking to see if the ball was out? I mean, the ball's clearly out.
Schrader the fumble. Sori Marin had the scoop, and he's running from basically center field to home plate. And in doing so, runs away from the video board. So he has no idea. I mean, he has some sense that Adams is behind him.
You always feel like somebody is tracking you down. You always feel the presence of someone.
There you go.
Who's trying to tackle you.
Hey, don't forget, coming up, our featured ESPN football lineup. You know all about a Saturday afternoon of the college football playoff, right? Michigan and TCU, Verbo Fiesta Bowl. Out in the desert, then Saturday night in Atlanta on New Year's Eve. Kind of the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl where it's always been. New Year's Eve in Atlanta in prime time with Georgia and Florida State. Then the Rose Bowl game presented by Prudential Monday afternoon, 5 o'clock. Number 11, Penn State, Kyle Whittingham in Utah. And then Monday Night Football. Bills and Bengals with Joe and Troy and Lisa Salters. 8:15 on ESPN, ABC. in our coverage of the Bills and Bengals. That's two of the three teams whose names get mentioned most out of the AFC, and rightly so.
Yeah. Bengals have won, what? They've been on a tear lately. So we're being told that they're reviewing whether or not there were 12 defensive players on the field.
Oh, boy.
And there was an announcement. There was an announcement that there was no penalty for that.
There are 12.
It appears so. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
There
12.
are 12.
And if my math is correct, that's one more than you're allowed to have legally on the field.
Yep. And Sori Marin, and the 64-yard return is going to be wiped off the boards.
Garrett Schrader looking at the coaching staff like, I told you it felt like
After
there was
review,
an extra guy out there.
There was determined that there was 12 men on defense. So we had fouls by both teams. Illegal substitution, 12 men on defense, personal foul, horse collar, offense. Those fouls will offset. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line.
Scott Campbell, kudos to you for getting all of that organized and presented appropriately.
There's a lot of excitement for just, hey, let's replay the down. Act like it never happened.
Right.
Question is Mariano Sori Marin been able to catch his breath? Will he be back?
There he is. Look here. Hey. Hey, Taylor, I'll hit the post game later.
The oxygen mask.
I'll hit the post game later. Whatever Meals with Mario is headed for.
Be a good one tonight.
I'll settle in on 1st and 10.
So now Syracuse with new life.
Here is Schrader looking left for Cooper. Diving grab, goes out of bounds at the 8.
Ruling on the field is a catch.
Close to 1st and goal, Roddy.
Did he get a foot in before he lands out of bounds? Or does he land inbounds?
He's inbounds.
Yeah, it looks like he lands inbounds. That left elbow looked like it was about to come down first. Clearly inbounds.
Ruling on the field is a catch for a 1st down.
PJ Fleck off the Minnesota bench is hoping for a review here and not getting it. Schrader and the orange to work here. 1st and goal at the 8. Minnesota brings a blitz. Sori Marin. Schrader eludes him to the near side. Garrett throws back and incomplete. Darius Green, who's been helped off the field twice, pressured Schrader.
Sori Marin came right up the middle, and Schrader has shown a number of times today his ability to get away in the pocket. Just nice stiff arm on Sori Marin, throws him to the side. Darius Green chasing, and then sort of a dangerous throw, but in this situation, you're trying to get the ball in the end zone.
Valeri was, I thought, the intended target, and maybe he wasn't. Maybe it was a little further down the line. Here is Schrader throwing for the end zone, and no, off the wrong shoulder of LaQuint Allen.
Tried to run a little pick play for LaQuint Allen. He was going out to the flat, turned up the sideline, and Schrader just off on that toss.
3rd and goal at the 8. .249 to play. Down 15 of the orange. Schrader looping for the end zone in Gadsden. Incomplete. 4th in the ball game, perhaps, for the orange here, Roddy.
Frustrating for Garrett Schrader and for Syracuse coaches. Just 2 plays in a row where Schrader's thrown it out of bounds, hasn't even given his receiver a chance to make a play on it. Especially with Gadsden with the height advantage over Jordan Howden.
Both plays to the wide side, not to Cooper, who's in the boundary and been effective here. Same setup. You got Adams and Gadsden here to the right. Now Gadsden's going to go left where Cooper is. Here's Schrader. Bounces to his right. Now tries to get back left. Looking for the end zone. To the right at the 5. Schrader dives and scores.
What a play by Garrett Schrader. What an individual effort. I mean, he scrambles around. He can't find a receiver. He breaks a tackle, and then he gets out and uses the speed
54 is 98
to be able to get into the end zone. Tremendous by Garrett Schrader. And Syracuse opting to kick the field goal here, going against the conventional wisdom of going for the two-point conversion as early as possible. They're going to go ahead and kick the field goal.
So Schmidt knocks it through to make it 28-20. For the first time since October 21st, Minnesota's allowed more than 16 points in a game. After Schrader dances around again and ends up scoring another rushing touchdown.
And the reason I mentioned the two-point conversion thing is obviously if you missed the two-point conversion, this is the all-22 of the last play. You see, just watch everyone covered down the field. There's nowhere to go with the football. Garrett Schrader just makes magic happen. But if you go for the two-point conversion and you miss it, you now know you need two possessions, and you can operate as if you need two possessions. You go quickly, you throw the ball towards the end zone, you score. And then because you've gone quickly, because you know you need that extra possession,
right,
you give your team the best chance by not going for it. Essentially, if you're able to recover an onside kick and then score,
you know you have to have it.
You have to have it then. And so that information, and if you miss it, obviously game's over. So that information is valuable to you down the stretch if you are indeed able to come back. But Dino Babers likes to operate traditionally, so you kick the extra point first, and then you go for the two-point conversion second. But the thinking has become, now you go for the two-point as early as possible so you know how many possessions you need going forward.
Minnesota had not allowed a touchdown in the last 5 games in the fourth quarter. Before that one, Roddy. We told you about the 16 points since October.
Kansas recovered one of these yesterday to make it interesting down the stretch with Arkansas.
Sure did.
This can do the same.
And they're going to try and dribble straight ahead, and it is recovered. A flag is down. Syracuse might have been offside. In other words, somebody crossed the 35 before the ball was kicked.
Offside. Number 18, kicking team. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. First down, Minnesota.
Span Ford, the tight end, recovered the onside kick for the Gophers.
Yeah, just across, and
please reset the game clock.
Got a little too much of that on the bunt.
29 seconds.
That's one of those, the bunt gets a little too much of the bat and it goes right to the pitcher.
Yeah.
Easy double play turn. That's exactly what happened right there. Just a little too much. It was a nice effort, though.
Dino Babers out of timeouts with 2:29 to go. Trey Potts in the ball game with Tanner Morgan. And what a finish this is going to be for Tanner Morgan, Roddy.
And he's going to be able to ride off in the sunset, taking the last snap after a magnificent career at Minnesota. And he didn't really have to do much in the second half, to be completely honest, because the defense and the special teams were so good.
You know, it was interesting because PJ Fleck said earlier this week to us, the most professional guy in the situation was Tanner Morgan.
And Tanner Morgan is the guy that PJ Fleck said, hey, look, as soon as he's done, if he wants a spot on my coaching staff, he can absolutely have it.
Yep.
I mean, just the type of player, the type of leader that you would want in a program, and really understood that Kaliakmanis is the future at quarterback and really helped him. And we just hope that Athan's recovery is a speedy one.
Potts will get the carry. Minnesota really needs a first down to kind of ensure salting this clock away. Our Capital One player of the game tonight at the Pinstripe Bowl is Waynesville, North Carolina freshman Coleman Bryson. 8 tackles and a breakup, but it was the pick 6, 70 yards, that twisted this game in the favor of the Golden Gophers, Roddy.
Syracuse was driving to take the lead, and Bryson undercuts an out route by Aronde Gadsden. Garrett Schrader doesn't check before he throws it. Bryson ends up in the end zone, and that really put the distance that Minnesota needed
Timeout.
away from the orange. And then
Second
obviously the kick
seconds.
return, the subsequent touchdown really put it away, or really made it tough for Syracuse. It didn't necessarily put it away at the time, but Coleman Bryson getting the start here today and had a really nice game.
So Coleman Bryson, just part of a group that came together here for Minnesota, and they make a big play. They came in with a lot of stats, and you see the injury to Ethan Kaliak-Manis. And Taylor, the defense holds here for
They've
Minnesota.
accomplished so much this season, like you were saying. Number 5 overall defense, number 4 scoring defense. And what I think is interesting is you really don't see them dial up that pressure a lot. PJ Fleck said, I would like to tell you that that's by design. But what has been the key for them is knowing their strengths and playing to them. You saw that tonight.
Trey Potts hit right at the line on 3rd down. And a flag has been thrown on the play. And I'm not quite sure what's transpired here, but after Potts was taken down, Okechukwu and Kayvon Darton on the stop of Potts, but now the Minnesota bench.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 5, Syracuse. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot, automatic. First down.
Elijah Clark.
First unsportsmanlike conduct foul for the game.
And
it's going to end the game.
Yep, sure is. Dino Babers off with the headset, and he knows.
Unbelievable. It's been such a clean game, really, on both sides.
Under a minute when the foul occurred, which stopped the clock. That's a 10-second runoff. Will the game clock operator please reset the game clock to 40 seconds? 4-0 on the game clock. And the clock will start on my signal.
That's it. They don't have to run another. Well, they'll get a 25-second play clock.
But here's one of the interesting little notes here, Roddy. Into the ball game for the last snap is not only Tanner Morgan, but for the first time in the second half, Mohamed Ibrahim has appeared on the field. So for the victory formation snap, PJ Fleck, recognizing what this is, gets 24 back on the field to finish with Tanner Morgan.
Pretty cool that they'll take the last snap of the season, last snap of their careers together.
There it is.
Excellent careers for Minnesota.
And that will do it. One final snap. There'll be no need for another down here because the clock continuing to run, and PJ Fleck and Dino Babers will shake hands, and Minnesota, for the 11th time in school history, is going to win 9 games. 3 of those have occurred in the 6-year administration of PJ Fleck. And the Golden Gophers are the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl champions.
If he wasn't awake before, he's awake now. Oh, what a tremendous job by Minnesota today. It was a complete team effort. Offense early, defense in the second half, and special teams. PJ Fleck has to be incredibly proud. Congratulations to Mohamed Ibrahim. Congratulations to Tanner Morgan on the careers that they've had. Mariano Sori-Marin as well. I mean, just so many incredible careers ending today. But congratulations to Minnesota.
Great to be with Roddy Jones, Taylor Davis all season long. Thanks to our producer, Pete Delaria, our director, Ed Curran. Off we go to the Cheez-It Bowl. Bob Wischusen, Dan Orlovsky, and Chris Button standing by. It is Clemson and Oklahoma. Good night from the Bronx.